David Washington makes his major league debut, just called up today. He will be the DH, and Hardy at short hitting ninth. Trey Mancini, he's the hot bat here in the month of June and in this series.
So there it is. Miguel Gonzalez home cooking, 3-1 at home with a very low ERA. On the road, not the case. Trouble with the slider. He's given up 12 home runs, 6 on the sliders. We get those numbers, and then again, not many appearances because he only pitched for the White Sox other than the Orioles last year. So he's 0-2. He's pitched well in both of those games, but they don't score a lot of runs for him. But again, he's got 4 pitches. I would look at him. He's kind of a finesse right-hander. He's got the split. He's got the curveball. He's got a slider, which has gotten him in trouble, and he's got 2 kinds of fastballs.
What he has done against the Orioles this season in that one game, took the loss. He worked 6 innings and pitched well. 6 2/3, 2 runs, 6 hits. Gave up 1 home run, a walk, and 5 strikeouts, but they didn't score for him, and the Orioles came away with a win in the ball game. Lifetime for Gonzalez against the Orioles, 0-2. Carries a 3.35 ERA against his former team. And we are ready to go. Seth Smith with a back problem, unable to start the ball game. Probably would have been in there instead of Young-Soo Kim. But Smith's had a back problem, and whether or not he's really available tonight to do anything, Buck never answers that question before the game.
Yeah, and with the Davis injury, Kim might have played, but he might have been the DH.
He's going to try and lay down the bunt maybe, and takes it, and the pitch will be taken for a ball. So Kim in the leadoff spot. He's gone 1 for 3 in this series against Miguel Gonzalez. He's not had a hit in 6 at-bats against him. And the pitch will be taken inside. An hour and 30-minute rain delay for the beginning of this ball game. These teams starting late, and we'll have a quick turnaround for a day game tomorrow. 33-year-old right-hander. Pitch on the way at 2-0. Kim puts it up in the air, right center field. Garcia gets over. Evancio Garcia is there, and Kim's retired.
Yeah, take a look at their defense. This ballpark played very small the first night. The 17 runs scored. A little bit cooler last night. So Cabrera, Willie Garcia, and then the other, well, they have 3 of them. The other Garcia, who's red hot with the bat, Frazier, Anderson, Sanchez, Abreu. That's the infield. And Narvaez, who started last night, did a nice job behind the plate. Orioles only getting 1 run.
Here is Adam Jones. Adams had a 3 for 8 in this series with an RBI. Adam against his former teammate, also 3 hits in 6 at-bats against Gonzalez. Miguel Gonzalez coming off a couple of losses. Last 2 starts he lost on the road at Cleveland and at Detroit. Last outing against Cleveland, 4 runs, 6 hits, and only 4 2/3 innings, and he walked 4 in that game. Troublesome because he generally has not walked many, and also the long ball getting to him. As Jim said, he's given up 4 home runs in the last 2 games.
But he had, on occasion, he can throw 92, 93. Average fastball is a little bit under 91, which is mile per hour lower than the league average. But again, when he's right, he's got a slider, he's got the curveball, the splitter, he stays behind it, so it's a pitch that is a good strikeout, double play pitch, ground ball pitch.
Adam Jones swung around a little bit in the infield. Sanchez, second baseman, moved over near the bag. Count at 2 strikes, and the pitch just misses.
So take a look at what the opposition hits. The curveball, again, it's a pretty good curveball. Doesn't throw it a lot. The splitter was very good. Fastball, and then the slider. Not only, and you can see the 6 home runs, and that's tied for the most in Major League Baseball in one particular pitch.
Count at a ball and 2 strikes. Gonzalez to Jones, down to third off his foot. That's just what Adam needed. Something else to feel bad about, and in the leg area.
Yeah, that's the splitter. And again, when he's throwing it well, watch this ball dive. I mean, it goes straight down. So you're hitting the top of the ball, and then you're hitting it right down at your foot. Let's see where it gets him. Yeah, top of the. You got the protector, but it looked like it got the top of the foot. Brian Ebel's going to come out.
You've seen Adam struggle a number of times here in the games in Chicago. Just the legs, the ankle, the hips, they hurt. They have hurt. They continue to hurt. He refuses to come out of the lineup, and now adds another bruise that got to him on the foul ball.
He says, I waited an hour and a half for this. Take a look right here.
Last night going down the line on the play at first base. A little awkward going in and then acting up that left leg. The hip area took him a long time. He stayed down for quite a while. Wayne Kirby, the first base coach, out to see him, and then even when he jogged out to center, you could see it was still hurting. So Adam down on the count 1-2 will step back in. Manny Machado waiting on deck, and the pitch up and in. But a pretty good breeze blowing here tonight with the thunderstorms around. It's swirling.
Yeah, it's blowing into the booth, but that doesn't mean it's not blowing. You can see the flags there from right to left field here at Guaranteed Rate Park.
That ball hit hard and a base hit. So Adam, aches and pains and whatever, still hits a base hit. And with one away, the Orioles get their first hit of the ball game. Howie Clark's the first base coach tonight. Wayne Kirby's off at a graduation for a daughter, and so he will be back with the ball club tomorrow. So the assistant batting coach takes over the reins at first base in the coach's box. Howie Clark will keep an eye out for Adam Jones now. Adam not going to do any running, and Manny Machado coming to the plate. Manny a 3 for 8 so far in the series. He too, like Adam Jones, 3 for 6 against Gonzalez in his career. Pitch on the way, and he got that one to left field. Tagged it. Will it stay fair? No. Missed by just that much down the left field line.
You know, there's a curveball, and sometimes you get lucky with a hanger. And that ball just hooks. Looks like it may get the pull, and then hooks foul.
It's a pretty good shot at it right there. See how close that was to that fair pull. Machado with a 1-strike count. And he will go after that one. That's going to go to left center, not deep. Willie Garcia comes over and puts it away. Manny Machado's retired. Jones will back himself back to first base.
Yeah, when you're struggling a little bit, that's what happens. You get a hittable pitch, you hook it foul, you pop it up, or maybe foul it off, and then he makes a good pitch right on the fist, and you get the soft fly ball.
That will bring up Trumbo. Mark making the start in right field. A couple of hits, 8 at bats in this series. Gonzalez has taken a loss 7 times in the last 8 starts. ERA has gone up monthly for Miguel this year. 2 down, runner at first base taken away. Time for our AARP's Getting to Know You for Mark Trumbo. Getting to know his numbers against Miguel Gonzalez.
Well, maybe he'll get him started. And again, this, had a great May. But 1 home run, 9 for 45. That's 200 in the month of June, but it's early. There's a little slider, and that's a better one.
Slider's been the pitch that Gonzalez has given up the home runs on. 12 home runs allowed. Half have come on the slider. All of those have been up and over the plate, including 3 out of the last 4 that have been hit by right-handed batters. His control of the slider has been a problem. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Adam Jones just a couple of steps off first base, being held over there by Abreu, and that'll be fouled back the other way.
Yeah, but all you have to do, and it's not that the Orioles haven't seen good pitching, because they have, but right there, that's a ball. If you take it, it's 2-1. Put some pressure on Miguel Gonzalez, and if you don't, and you swing at it, the result is you get into one of those pitcher's counts. So now he can do what he did, and he's very capable of doing this. He can pitch outside the strike zone. His stuff doesn't play well in the zone. So he wants to get ahead and then make you expand.
Averages a strikeout every other inning, and a little less on that on walks, about 1 every 3rd inning. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that will be outside. Trumbo taking, Jones staying where he is. So what's at stake for the Orioles in this ball game? They've got a 6-game losing streak. They've lost 11 in a row on the road, and 15 of the last 60 they have lost when they played away from Camden Yards. They are 11-22 in road games. They're in danger of falling into last place, a half game ahead of Toronto, the last place team in the East. And they are 7.5 behind New York. Pitch, and that's right where he wanted to put it. So he's able to get the strikeout. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Chicago. 3 of the 4 games set against this White Sox team, which has been hitting hard here at home. Sanchez, Cabrera, Abreu, Garcia, Frazier, and Anderson. Narvaez, Davidson, and Garcia. That's Willie Garcia. Melky Cabrera against the Orioles. He's had a real good series, adding to his career numbers.
And for Dylan Bundy, well, Mr. Consistent. Again, this is going to be what, his 14th start. 12 of them quality starts, only one bad one in Detroit. He's a stopper. Hopefully he'll be able to stop this losing streak. And the other thing is, for a young guy, and he's 24, he will turn 25 in November 15th. You don't know what he's going to throw. There are the numbers, and they're pretty good. Fly ball pitcher. Everybody makes a big deal out of it, but how hard are they hitting those fly balls? And are they staying in the ballpark?
And the pitch will be taken for a strike by Sanchez. Sanchez in the leadoff spot, their second baseman. He's picked up a hit and 8 at bats here in the series. It closed in on that 300 mark, dropped off a little bit first 2 games here. Good heater at 93 miles an hour.
Yeah, and that's the other thing he can do. When he must have been good at math coming out of a little town, Swasso. Got 2,500 people, good at math, because he can add and subtract. First one to 91 or 90, the next one to 93.
His pitch will be up high. Dylan against the White Sox. That was on May 6th. Got a win, 3 runs, 6 hits, 6 innings. The only game where he's given up more than 3 runs against Detroit, where he gave up 6. And the only game he didn't pitch at least 6 innings 2 games ago against Boston, when he worked 5, gave up just 2 runs on 4 hits in 5 innings. However, last 6 starts, he's only won 1 game. He's 1-4-1 in the last 6. And that pitch will be taken up high.
Yeah, they don't score a lot of runs for him.
Nope.
They get a lot of close games, 3-2 losses. And they kind of just got the pitch count up. Good change up right there.
That'll be handled. Really got it up in the air. Sanchez retired to Jones.
But take a look at the Oriole defense, and Kim and Jones and Trumbo, Machado, Hardy, Gold Glover, Scope, and Mancini, who's really acquitted himself well pretty much anywhere he plays, but especially at first, and then Wellington Castillo.
Mancini gets his 6th start at first base.
Had no idea. We'd say this about Chris Davis until you really see him on a regular basis, how good and how agile they are for big guys. Chris has a Gold Glove quality first baseman.
Here is Cabrera, Melky Cabrera, big 4 for 8 in this series. He's having himself an outstanding season. And son of a gun if he isn't a non-restricted free agent next year.
Really?
He's making $15 million this year. He had a contract that's gone 13, 14, 15 million, and then an unrestricted coming up. So it'll cost about 13 or more to keep him if the White Sox wanted to. That one's going to be fouled back. He hurt himself in a swing the other night, and right there he drops the bat again as he really torques his bat.
Yeah, and again, he did it last night, chasing a 2-seamer down and away, and that's. I remember when BAL had the wrist thing. He said, I was fine as long as I made contact, but if I swung through a ball, and again, you get a rib or a back injury, you can see him trying to catch his breath. It can cause a lot of lung pressure.
That one hurt him. 1-2 delivery on the way, and he'll have a ground ball the other way. Hardy. Cabrera retired. And there are 2 away here in the first inning. And our PNC Massive Sports Blog recap. Take a look. Rock Cabaco and Chris Davis. He's on the DL. Went there today. Steve Molesky trying to avoid a club record road losing streak. He writes about that. And Rock on Bundy and the rotations exception, which is what Bundy has been. Brought to you by PNC, for the achiever in you. Move today. Chris Davis on the 10-day DL with the right oblique strain. And the infielder David Washington called up from AAA Norfolk, making his major league debut in the ball game tonight as he's the DH. To make room, they transferred Anthony Santander from the 10-day DL to the 60-day DL with the right forearm strain that Santander has. Jose Abreu 5 for 9 and 4 runs scored in this series. Abreu over the top on that one at 86.
Yeah, there's a good slider. So since the beginning of last year, 10 multi-hit games. And if you're a young player, and the White Sox have a lot of them, well, just check out how this guy hits. Sprays it all over. Looks for pitches. You saw him last night speed up the bat when he knew he was going to get a fastball, ripped it into left.
Pitch to him is going to be a base hit into right center field. He'll make a big turn. Adam will cut it off and hold him. So Abreu's on with yet another hit.
Well, there's a hanging slider, and he just doesn't try to pull it, doesn't try to overswing. You got the barrel of the bat. Can you get it on the ball? And this one just hangs it. I mean, look at that approach.
He has really tagged Dylan Bundy. He's now 6 for 8 with a home run against Bundy.
Well, it's a combination of a good hitter and then getting good pitches to hit.
So the White Sox get their first hit of the ball game. Avisail Garcia coming to the plate. He's got a 6-game hit streak coming into this ball game. He's extended it in this series, going 3 for 8, and has 6 RBIs in the first 2 games of this 4-game set. So Garcia with 2 down, runner at first base, and he'll go after one inside and fouls it back.
Yeah, when's the last time we've seen 95 from Dylan Bundy? So but it was still a good swing. And just imagine you get to watch Abreu hit when you're 26. He's 30, much more experience than coming out of Cuba. And then because Garcia only turned what, 26 Monday, and the approach that Abreu has, it's going to be a model approach to hitting.
Well, Garcia's adopted and is among the leaders in lots of offensive categories in the American League. We'll go after that one, foul it away. He is 3rd in RBIs, 3rd with the batting average with runners in scoring position, tied for 3rd in hits, 8th in OPS, and 9th in slugging. Garcia's on his way to the All-Star game one way or the other.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Everybody asks about Dylan Bundy. Steve Stone, Cy Young Award winner, does the television. I said, just watch the lanes that he can throw in, and that was a perfect example. Up and in. There's Castillo.
That one will be
got that one out over the plate. But of all the starters, to get all the experience, he's the guy that executes his pitches better than anybody. And that's why his numbers are lower.
He is coming into this ball game 16 and 11 in his young career. Dylan's only 24. He has just been outstanding in the starts. Good enough ERA at 3.05 to rank 8th in ERA in the American League. Garcia will take that pitch, almost dropped into the inside corner as he backed off. 1-2.
Yeah, there you go. Quality starts, and I mean it's pretty good guy you're trying to catch, Clayton Kershaw. It's a select group right there.
1 ball, 2 strike count with 2 down. Abreu on at first base, being held by Mancini. That's going to go into the hole. That's going to be missed. Makes the turn at second, going to third. Abreu. Jonathan Scope tried to get rid of it before he had it. A slow roller off the bat. Probably wouldn't have had the out on him anyway, but he didn't get it.
Yeah, a lot of times you don't get out of the boxes, you get jammed, but he just doesn't catch it. Now I don't know, because of the rain, did they dump water there? But it looked pretty routine, even though he had to go a long way. And of course you can't make, if you don't catch it, you can't make the play. And because he's unable to do that, Abreu all the way to third base. So first and third.
Heads up base running by Abreu. It will be a base hit for Garcia. So the White Sox have runners on at first and third, and that'll bring Frazier to the plate. He's not had a hit in the series, going 0 for 7, and he's not had a hit off Dylan Bundy, 0 for 5. And the pitch will be taken up high for a ball. So the White Sox getting another chance to get on the board early in this ball game. Frazier has been one of their hot hitters all year. Against the Orioles, though, he's had only 2 hits and 15 at bats this year in the 5 previous games. And that breaking ball will stay up.
Well, you talked about it, though, 5 home runs, and as you look at Garcia and Abreu, first and third, 5 home runs in the last 13 games, and already Wellington Castillo saying, okay. The thing about Frazier, he's going to strike out a lot. He's not a high average guy, but he did hit 40 home runs and drive in 98 last year.
Our StatCast look at the runners, powered by AWS. Long discussion. as Castillo goes out.
And what he gives them, and what the Orioles usually look for with one swing, and he can do a lot of damage.
333 over the last 9 for Frazier. And Bundy trying to shut this down right now. Bundy's been outstanding in these situations. 179 average with runners in scoring position. None of those pitches close. And the count goes to 3-0 with Anderson waiting on deck.
And there is no guarantee that he has taken this pitch. You get a guy that's pretty hot, a veteran hitter. Rick Renneria, who manages the White Sox, may give him the green light.
Runners off first and third. Abreu and Garcia. Dylan Bundy, the 3-0 count. Frazier takes it. He's on. They're loaded. So after the first 2 outs, 2 singles and a walk, and the White Sox a potential rally here in the first.
And it all started with a hanging slider on a 2-strike count to Abreu, who just poked it into right field, and then the infield hit, and all of a sudden your pitch count is drastically affected by those at bats.
Tim Anderson only 200 with runners in scoring position this year, but what a chance he gets. Anderson getting the start at short. He's picked up 1 hit in the series. You see Abreu, Garcia, and Frazier. Breaking ball, that's going to miss. That's 5 in a row out of the strike zone from Dylan Bundy. Bundy has not walked many. The 24th he surrendered in the 83 innings that he has pitched. He's held opponents to fewer hits than innings pitched, 71 to 83. But he's got a jam right here to get out of, but only needs 1 out to do so. 1-0, and he's got a base hit. Abreu's going to score. Garcia's going to score. It'll be a single. Frazier goes to third, and the White Sox jump on Bundy for a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, 2 for 6, now 3 for 7. And again, he's been hot. Now hit in 11 of his last 13 games, and again, it's a fastball outside middle, very hittable, especially when you get behind him. And again, he doesn't try to overswing. How many balls, big hits, have they gotten up the middle in this series? And only the third game.
They aim for the middle. There's no question. They don't see themselves as a big power hitting club. They've got some power hitters, but it's about putting the ball in play up the middle. Anderson does. 19 RBIs for him. And Dylan Bundy could not get that big 2 out with the bases loaded. Bundy had allowed only 1 first-inning run coming into this game. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. Naviez, who is doing the catching, 0 for 2 in the series. Runners on at first and third. White Sox with runners in scoring position. They are ranked 5th in the American League at 267.
Yeah, and if you're giving Miguel and Gonzalez, you're saying they've already gotten me 2 more runs than they got me in my first start against the Orioles. And he left when he was down 2-0.
Pitch on the way, jammed him. Good pitch.
So you know what you have to do if you're Bundy. Whether you'll be able to do it, you've got to stop him right here. You've already given up 2 more than you wanted. Earl Weaver would say, never would have known if Scope had just fielded that ball what might have happened.
Yep.
And I think when you're playing poorly, you kind of rush things. Not that it was an easy play by any means, but if you don't catch it, you know you're not going to get him out.
Naviez with the 0-2 count. Runners off first and third. Bundy delivers 0-2, and that got the home plate umpire Quinn Walcott.
Well, it looked like he told the ref in a boxing match, I'm all right. I mean, he takes it right off the mask. Wellington Castillo's going to turn around and make sure that he doesn't go over, and he almost does, and he grabs him right off the top of the mask.
Didn't touch anybody else on the way back. So the count stays at 2 strikes. Naviez delivered to him. That's going to be to the middle. Hardy is there, though. Play's going to have to go to first base, and it's there in time. So the White Sox pick up a couple of runs. They do it on 3 hits, no errors, and will leave 2 on base. They have the early lead. good night from Jessup. 500 for being selected. 500 more for every Orioles home run hit tonight. Play Home Run Rich's Scratch House. Win up to 50,000. Or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/home run. Wendy, hope it is a good night. 2-0 lead for the White Sox. Orioles will have Mancini, Scope, and Castillo coming to the plate. Trey Mancini, real good series for the Orioles and a real good year so far against the White Sox, as Mancini's gone 8 for 15 with 2 home runs and 7 RBIs against Chicago this year. The White Sox down a game in the season series. Orioles have a 3-2 edge. Final game between these two teams tomorrow afternoon. That'll miss down low. Miguel Gonzalez for the Orioles, 39-33 was his record. 4 years, parts of 4 years with the O's. 1-1 delivery taken the other way. This is over near the line. Garcia long run and foul. He was playing over towards the power alley that time on Mancini, so he had a long way to go.
Yeah, I think the wind also is blowing the ball away from him now, as you said, gusting and swirling all over the place.
Yeah, hard to tell by the flags. Some are blowing in, some are blowing out, depending on where you're looking, and most of them are going around in a circle. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Trey. Down to third, fair ball, goes into foul territory off the glove of Frazier. Mancini's going to make the turn, and he'll have an easy double. That one deflected and was slowed down, so no problem getting to second base.
Yeah, either way, if it gets by him, because Cabrera, the left fielder, is over in left center, it's going to be a double. But you know, this infield pretty quick, so that ball just bounds. And again, look how far Todd Frazier's off the line, so he's trying to get the glove on it. And then did somebody touch this ball? Which they did, so it's a ground rule double.
So the Orioles get a chance. Get one at least of those 2 runs back. See if they can do it here. The pitch on the way, taken outside. Jonathan Scope.
Well, what's your approach here, Gary? We saw it last night. You know, 2 for 11 runners in scoring position. They had guys all over the place. You got to hit the ball the right. See, you're struggling for runs. You know, you want to try to hit a home run and you get one to the left side and you don't advance the runner. It's harder to score runs, and they're having trouble doing that.
Scope chasing one away.
And you have to slow it down a little bit. And you know, I understand. I mean, when pitching poorly, you grip the ball a little bit tighter. You want to hit home runs, but they're hard to do. And you can see the 10 to right. Well, hit another one.
357 with runners in scoring position for Jonathan. He's among the top 10. He'll take the pitch away, as Miguel Gonzalez said, "I'll try it again."
And what I see is that when I used to be out there, you get the guy over, and then Wellington Castillo's on deck, and he doesn't strike out a lot. If you try to strike him out, you might end up walking him, and then at the end of the day, you might have a big inning. But again, you got to play the game right early in the game when you're struggling.
2-1 count. Good lead for Mancini off second base. Gonzalez delivers. He'll miss down low.
Yeah, if he wants to walk you, fine. Well, take the walk. Jonathan doesn't do a lot of that.
Adam Jones still leads the league with runners in scoring position at 410. Scope has moved up to number 5 now in the American League, and Vaciel Garcia is 8th. So you got 3 of the top 10 with runners in scoring position playing in this ball game. 3 ball 1 strikeout. Miguel Gonzalez delivers. Scope lines it to center. Willie Garcia misjudged it. It's going to go off the wall. Mancini will make the turn. Coming to the plate. The throw will come in, but not in time. And Garcia, ball hit right at him and could not make the play.
Yeah, he misplayed one on Monday night, and again a couple of balls misjudged. This is a rocket. But right there, he thinks he's going to catch it, and then he's a big guy. He had 17 assists, so we know he can throw, but can he catch it? And here's the mad dash for home. He's going to make it 2-1.
So the Orioles Draw a break on that one on a hard hit ball, and Mancini crosses the plate, and the Orioles cut that lead to 2-1.
Well, it's even a bigger break because Trey, and I'm not saying he should have gone and tagged up, but he went halfway. If Garcia catches it, you're not going to advance the runner.
And credited with a double is Jonathan Scope and the RBI. So now the potential tying run at second base. Wellington Castillo, and he will take the pitch for a strike.
Well, a pitching coach's nightmare. Don Cooper, very much like Roger McDowell for the Orioles. Don said, hey, get a lead, have a shutdown inning. And a couple of doubles, and the Orioles are on the board.
Castillo an 0 for 3 off Miguel Gonzalez. Jonathan Scope held at second base. There's the throw over. Not in time. Sanchez moving in from second base.
Yeah, and you got the rookie David Washington on deck. Make him a good or a better hitter. Again, man at second, nobody out. Hit the ball to the right side, and Wellington can do that. He's got tremendous back control.
What a job Castillo's done overall, and in these situations hitting .455. He's gone 10 for 22 with runners in scoring position. 0-1 delivery on the way. Gonzalez a breaking ball. That'll be down low, and the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike on Castillo. So the Orioles having one of those comeback innings that you got to have after the opposing team gets on the board. Answer, and they have done that and have a real chance to do more. 1-1 delivery in the air right field. Aciel Garcia, runner is tagging. He's coming to make a throw. Scope starts, stops. Throw to the cutoff man goes all the way through to third base. So the runner remains at second. Take a look at our Jim Coons AL League leaders. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons.
Well, this is what you talked about last night. You know, a great average as we look at the the fewest at bats, even though the average is the highest. So again, get more guys on, get the on base percentage up, runs will come up, and then Orioles need to get back to doing what they can do, which is get on base, but also hit multi-run home runs. It's hard to do sometimes.
So here's a major league debut as David Washington stands in, the designated hitter called up today. Gonzalez turns around. Take a look at the numbers for him. Our PNC minor league report.
Well, hopefully they got him at the right time, and pretty good numbers right there, and that's AAA. It's not the big leagues, but it's, and you could see, left-handed hitter. Certainly can platoon him.
Pitch on the way to him. That'll be fouled off. Our minor league report brought to you by PNC for the achiever in you. So big night obviously for David Washington, and he gets the opportunity, having to wait out an hour-and-a-half rain delay. Called up. You saw the hit streak that he is on, so he had the hot bat, but Showalter said before the game that's the primary reason he's here and not somebody else. 0-1 pitch on the way, and inside out foul ball.
Yeah, big guy at 6'5". I mean, he's listed at over 250 pounds. Always been a strikeout guy. 142 times last year, but also hit 25 home runs.
Washington was picked up on a minor league contract November 21. Looked good to Buck Showalter in spring training during the camp, so he raised the level of attention, and here he is, and a swing and a miss on it as he got it by him.
Well, certainly didn't get cheated, but ends up striking out. Mercedes pitch cast, and you can see the high target, but Narvaez, and again he throws it pretty much right where he threw it, and he swings through it. You can see the late movement two-seamer that runs away from the bat head.
So Washington's first at bat's a K, and that will bring up J.J. Hardy. Hardy's got a 3-game hit streak, a hit in each of the first 2 games against the White Sox in this series, 2 for 8. Miguel Gonzalez, runner at second base. Orioles have 1 in. Scope the runner, and Hardy will take the slider outside for a ball. J.J. has picked the pace up, particularly with runners in scoring position for the Orioles. It's only 222 on the year, but of late he's had some key RBIs. 1-0 count with 2 down, and a swing and a miss pitch away.
Good slider.
So Gonzalez trying to work his way out. Both teams have had a defensive play not made that has helped the opposition. Jonathan Schoop in the first inning on the ground ball that ended up being a base hit, and in this one Willie Garcia in center on the double by Jonathan Schoop. Ball not caught. Both were hits.
Miguel much more comfortable righty to righty pitching away, and just look at his posture. Watch him go left here. Right, he's just going to lean to the left, and that's right there. That's his line.
That's going to end up in the seats and out of play.
So it's kind of hard. And again, if you softened your chest, you'd probably be a little more athletic. But when he goes left, that's a lot of times where that slider flattens out. That's where you get in trouble.
So he's gone 265 right-handers, 293 left-handers against him. Jonathan Schoop still meandering around out there at second base, representing the potential early tying run in this ball game. Hardy can get him home. JJ's got the outfield moved in center and right as they have throughout this series, and shaded to right field. And Gonzalez will step off. Schoop back. A little too big a lead. That'll draw Sanchez over from second to keep him a little bit closer, and that will send the catcher out to have a word with Gonzalez.
Well, I think he's a little antsy, and I mean, not that Schoop is getting a big lead. It's 2 outs. He's going on contact anyway. But you mentioned it. I mean, he pitches well here, 3-1 at home, but his last 6 starts, 5, 5, 5, 3, 6, 4. That's the amount of runs he's given up after pitching very well. 2, 3, 1, 1, 1 in his first 5 starts. So he's been struggling.
June ERA 8.5. 2 ball 2 strike delivery on the way. Hardy got jammed. Third base Frazier, and no play. He'll be up on top of the dugout.
Yeah, pretty hittable fastball there.
Now these are some of the averages Buck Showalter was talking about in the course of a year. Showers around, as you can see, for the Orioles. There's concern in some of the players struggling. Hardy at 209, Manny Machado at 218. Will they be able to get the bats going again? Davis, Chris at 226, which is not unusual for him. And Buck said, look, they're low, and sometimes it stays that way for a whole year. Hope not, but been a lot of at bats. Ground ball down to third is chopped foul.
Yeah, that's where the injury to Ryan Flaherty, because if you thought that, JJ's 34, it certainly doesn't mean your career's over. But if you're struggling, the fact that Ryan Flaherty could play shortstop does give you an option. Same with Ruben Tejada, who actually played well. 4 for 13 when Manny bruised the wrist playing up in New York.
2 ball 2 strike count. Ryan still in Florida. He's on a rehab. He is throwing now, but certainly not ready to come back. So that's going to take a while before he's here. Concern about Seth Smith with a back that's bothering him. Really wasn't available last night, and probably not available tonight. As we said, Buck never talks about that unless you're on the DL, but not well. Chopped off his foot.
Nice at bat by JJ, though, really battling. I was looking at the 40-man roster. They really do not have, didn't see any other options at AAA on the 40-man roster of outfielders.
Yep. There's Seth. It's amazing how many chances there are now for players in the Orioles minor league system, if you were doing anything as a pitcher or a position player, to have a chance to come up, but it's not there. 2 ball 2 strike delivery on the way, and that'll be taken down low. So Gonzalez having a battle here with Hardy.
And I think he'd rather, and he's done everything he can to try to get JJ to succumb and make an out, and Beach has been fouling him off because Kim's on deck. And who do you want to pitch to? Probably Hardy.
Don't want that left-hander up there if you're Gonzalez. So 3-2, 2 down. Scope the edge off second. JJ in the air to center, hit it hard. Garcia was playing in shallow, but he'll get back and will make the catch. Orioles get a run. They do it on 2 hits. They leave 1 on. Jonathan Schoop delivering the RBI. Mancini led the inning off with a double. Scope gets the double, and a 2-1 ball game. Tonight's game brought to you by Miller Lite. Great to have all of you with us. A late hour back home for the ball game start after an hour and a half rain delay. White Sox have the 2-1 lead. The White Sox at 28-35. They are 6 games out, last place in the Central. The Orioles 31-32, dropping below 500 for the first time since the end of the 2015 season. A win tonight and get themselves back to 500 baseball. Dylan Bundy working on Davidson. Matt Davidson had the big blow. Grand slam home run in the ball game, his first career grand slam, and he has homered in back-to-back games for the second time this year.
Oh, he's big and strong. He strikes out. You know, looks like he's a pull hitter, susceptible to the breaking ball.
Bundy's delivery to him, and a towering fly ball to right center field. Adam Jones back at the wall looking, and goodbye home run at another. He is on a home run tear. Matt Davidson picking up a home run in each of the last 3 games.
Well, he's proved to me, and I would imagine he's proved to not only Dylan Bundy but the rest of the Orioles pitchers, that he can hit the fastball, and that's what he gets. And then he launches it. You know, Devin Smith hit his first major league home run. We caught on Monday night. Maybe didn't hit it this far, but you know, Adams looked at it all the way and just can't get it 3 or 4 rows, and it looked like he hit it right into the wind. It didn't matter.
13th home run of the season for Davidson, and he gets that run right back, 3-1. Wow. Dylan Bundy surrendering his 12th home run of the season. 8 of those hit by right-handers. That one will be taken. Willie Garcia is at a 3 for 6 in the series. He's getting the starts in center field. Willie Garcia is out with an injury. He would normally be in center. Strike taken on the outside corner. So Willie Garcia gets the starts. 3 games, 3 different lineups put in by Mark Renteria, their manager, not only in players but where the players are hitting, even if they play back-to-back games. Good breaking ball by Bundy. Count evens up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Leadoff batter Sanchez waiting on deck. 2-2 delivery on the way, and had him out in front.
Yeah, not the typical Dylan Bundy, but it'll work. A slider that stays up a little bit, but a very young, inexperienced hitter. And he just swings through it.
First strikeout for Bundy. The White Sox struck out once in last night's game. It is only the 12th time in franchise history for the White White Sox that they have gone a ball game in which they have had only one strikeout, and that came in the first inning as Asher got a K on the second batter.
Nick Cabrera went down.
They did not strike out again. 0-1 count. Sanchez flying out to center field his first time up. That is the third hit batter by Dylan Bundy this year.
Yeah, just pulls it inside. Sometimes you over rotate. He's usually so good. And of course, they're trying to come in, and most pitchers, especially when you're 24, more comfortable out over the plate. Try to hit the outside corner, pulls it, and drills it.
Sanchez hit for the first time. Puts a runner on for Melky Cabrera. Cabrera hitting .250 right-handed, .283 left-handed. Of the 6 home runs, 2 have been hit from the left side of the plate. Runner on, 1 down. Bundy's delivery to him will be outside for a ball. Bundy going the second time through the lineup. His numbers this year: .267 the first time through, .213 the second time, and .215 the third time.
Well, the ability to use all his pitches and then make you can see, I mean, there he flies open. He usually doesn't do that. So this is one of these nights similar to what we saw. Good velocity in Detroit. He ended up giving up 6 runs. The hanging change up to J.D. Martinez for a 3-run home run and did him in that afternoon. Very rare is he out of sync, but he's not what we've seen all year tonight so far.
2-0 count. That's the first base hit down the line. Sanchez will make the turn, easily go to third. Trumbo will get it in, hold him to a single.
Yeah, Sanchez with great speed.
Third is off the bag, and he threw it away into the seats. And the runner wasn't even going. Jonathan Scope just let it fly, and it ended up going into the stands. And that will score Sanchez.
Yeah, again, I mean, he comes around like he's going to go, but right here, wet ball, rain, hour and a half delay. So right there, he thinks he can pick him off. Wet ball, heaves it into the stands. Not only do you get the 4th run, but you get another runner in scoring position with Abreu coming to the plate. Exactly what you didn't want to happen. And again, it's one of those things where you're kind of rushing things.
So the error allows the run to score, no RBI, and allows, as Jim said, the runner to get down.
Well, a lot of things,
base.
yeah. I mean, a lot of things, you know, you put them all together. He gets behind Cabrera, looks for a pitch, he gets a change up in the middle of the plate.
The infield has to move in there a little closer on the right side, halfway in with Abreu up, who's had a base hit. Runner at third base, only 1 down. And Abreu, who scored in the first inning, chance for an RBI. Bundy's pitch to him in the air to right. That'll get 1 in. Trumbo's back there. He'll make the catch, the tag, throw in, and no chance at the plate. So he scores, sac fly, brings Cabrera home. Abreu gets the RBI, and it's a 5-1 White Sox lead.
Yeah, Bundy had no idea. He's not at his best, and they're not helping him, and that's when it gets lopsided. And what do? They do exactly what the Orioles present them. Need a sacrifice fly, stays inside the ball, looks for a ball up, gets the fly ball.
So for only the second time this year, Dylan Bundy has given up more than 3 runs. The 6 picked up by Detroit, and now the 5 picked up by Chicago. Levaciel Garcia, base hit, 7-game hit streak for him. Base is now empty. High heat he goes after at 95. And again, the Orioles find themselves down early in a ball game with Dylan Bundy, who is generally, in the first couple of innings, he came in having given up only 5 runs in the first and second innings of ball games total in his first 13 starts.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Wellington goes up and in, and he misses by 3 feet. When's the last time we've seen that? And again, he's probably talking to himself right now. You could see him going, okay, stay back. And sometimes that front side will not stay closed. And then it's hard to locate where you want it.
1-1 delivery down to third base on the chop. Machado slips, has to make an off-balance throw. Not going to get him, and the ball's going to get away. Jonathan Scope over. He'll make a throw down to second base. Not in time, and they say he was going to get second base anyway because the ball went over into the seats area far enough in.
Yeah, man, he saddles a lot of games and tops, a lot of balls right here. So he's plays, and right here he just stumbles, tries to throw it, and Mancini trying to stay on the bag. Again, and I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that they did have the tarp on and it rained, but it obviously couldn't keep his feet underneath him.
2 errors in this inning, Scope and Manny Machado, and it'll put another runner into scoring position. So Dylan Bundy really having to work. It'll be a single for Garcia, so he's 2 for 2, and then the error allows him to move down to second base. Frazier drew a walk his first time up. Boy, here's a batter who's due. You hope it's not right now for the Orioles' sake. Big swing and a miss. Todd Frazier still looking for his first hit in this series and his first hit off Bundy. 0 for 7 in the 2 games. 0 for 5 off Bundy. Outfield deep on him. The 0-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss on one again away.
Yeah, 96-96.
A big 5-1 lead. 3 runs in the second after the 2 runs picked up in the first inning. And the 0-2 delivery, and Frazier will put it up in the air off the end of the bat. Jones coming, Scope out. Scope's the one, and he will put it away. But the White Sox put 3 more up on the board. They do it with 3 hits and a couple of errors. Celebrating the birthday of the U.S. Army is being brought to you by DynCorp International. We serve today for a better tomorrow. And by Navy Federal Credit Union. Navy Federal Credit Union proudly serving the armed forces, veterans, and their families for over 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA. We air tonight's game on Masson celebrating U.S. Army's birthday. United States Army, largest, oldest established branch of the U.S. military. And we'd like to thank all the past and current members of the Army for their work and dedication in protecting our country. Keep those caissons rolling along. Moments ago, Bobby Dickerson, who handles the infield, talking to Scope Machado.
Yeah, I said the ball was wet.
Don't throw it.
Good point. I'm sure Bobby made that.
So Miguel Gonzalez with the off-speed delivery that's going to be in there for a strike. Top of the order, Kim flied out first time up. J.J. Hardy, leader in the infield, on the field, talking with him. Foul back by Kim.
Well, they get Gonzalez when he starts. 6.11 runs a game. Now there are a couple of 7-run games, 12-run game in there, so maybe that total run support is skewed. But when he pitches, they usually score, and they've done that tonight.
In a hurry. And wow. Kim, wow, that was going to hit him if he didn't foul it back.
Maybe a little cutter. It's going well once I start. But this really is. I mean, this is what he's able to do. I mean, he doesn't play a whole lot now. Even last year, over 300 batting average, over 300 runners in scoring position. And the ability to usually hit the ball somewhere.
0-2 count. And he'll take the pitch away.
And even that one, I mean, he tracks that splitter all the way to the ground.
He has that Ichiro move at the plate where he's literally backing off, headed to first, swinging at pitches that he can then pull if they're inside or plunk the other way if they're not. Like that, he fouls it off.
What he doesn't have, though, is, as we both know, is Ichiro's speed. Going to be the first Asian to get in the Hall of Fame. I mean, 10 consecutive years of 200 hits or more. Broke the all-time hit record, talking about Ichiro. But a routine ground ball to short team wasn't routine when Ichiro was running, not when he first came up.
Fly.
And still playing.
Yep, 1-2 delivery, foul back. And with that swing, always leaning and headed to first base. He had that great out of the batter's box from that side anyway, but even more so because of the way he ended up with his swing, and Kim has that as well. 7th pitch of the at bat, Byung-Soo Kim. Jones, then Manny Machado due up. 1-2 delivery on the way. Reached for it, popped it up, left field, not deep. Anderson shortstop. Cabrera calls him off, and Melky Cabrera will put it away. Fireworks night presented by Maryland Excels is Friday when the Orioles take on the St. Louis Cardinals. Good seats available for this fan favorite, but they're going fast. To get your tickets at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Always great fireworks night with the big crowd on hand. The Cardinals coming in. Adam Jones, a base hit, will come to the plate. Adam now 4 for 9 in this series. Bases are empty with 1 down. Towering silo shot. It's going to be over the screen. And a foul ball. Now he is coming back to take a look at it, but no chance. We do have in this game 2 predominant fly ball pitchers. In fact, Dylan Bundy is number 1 in the fly ball ground ball ratio, and not far behind him is Miguel Gonzalez, which is one of the reasons Gonzalez gets in trouble on the road in smaller ballparks. Now this isn't a small park, but it's pretty fair, and fly balls can be handled in the yard here between the power alleys. Down to third. Good backhand stop, Frazier. There are 2 down. Our Heritage Automotive look ahead. Heritage Automotive offering you 20 convenient locations throughout the Baltimore area. Visit them in store or online at heritagedealers.com. Finish up here at 2 tomorrow Eastern time.
Well, the Cards, they're trailing 7-4 tonight after Mike Leake gave up 6 runs in the first inning, and then they came back with 4 in the second. But they're 30-33, and they're only 3 back in the loss column in the National League Central.
Not easy. The Cardinals are not having a good season. Their fans aren't happy. They're firing people, and St. Louis doesn't like losing.
No, they don't, and nor do the writers. They have something to write about. They do not tolerate losing very well in St. Louis.
1-0 delivery.
Yeah, I mean, they're not used to it.
Good. 1 ball, 1 strike count, 2 down, nobody on. Manny Machado. Manny flied out to center field. His first time up. 1-1 delivery on the way, and that's ripped to third and handled Frazier. He got it, and that'll be a 1-2-3 inning. So a shutdown inning for Gonzalez. 5-1 White Sox. It's not been pretty.
No, it hasn't. You know, arguably it led to 2 runs in the first and then another run in the second. You know, Bundy certainly not at his best tonight, but again, it's a team game. You know, you got to pick them up sometimes. Unable to do it tonight, and they're 2 very good defensive players. And you know, Machado has already won a Platinum Glove. That's the best of the Gold Glovers. And Scope usually very, very steady.
So the White Sox bat with the 5-1 lead. Bottom half of the 3rd inning. And again, they're sending a lot of people to the plate. 7 in the 1st inning, 7 in the 2nd. Swing and a miss on a pitch down and away.
Well, the one thing about Dylan Bundy, I would be very surprised from watching him over last year and this year if he's not going to try to say, you know what, I've already given up 5. That's it. And in the game that he won against the White Sox, they won 6-5.
Got that one in there and a called strike 3.
So again, you know, you're going to find your stride. The thing about the White Sox, the back end of their bullpen is very good. We saw it Monday night. There's a slider that's going to right on the outside corner or somewhere close enough. When Walcott doing the home plate umpiring, probably a little bit outside. I think Anderson thought that. But again, if you can get to this bullpen before the 6th, a little bit more hittable. After that, they have yet to lose a game where they've had a lead.
The VCL comes to the plate. Their catcher grounded out his first time up. Dylan Bundy 1 down and nobody on. And the pitch, a swing and a miss at 93 miles an hour. Said the White Sox here at home have been a different ball club than what they have done on the road. They continue to score a lot of runs here at home. They're averaging over 5 runs a ball game. Ball will be fouled back.
And giving up 3 and giving up 3.6. So they're at 1.6 more runs at home. And you're surprised they're only 14 and 11.
Yeah, they've outscored opponents 130 to 102.
Now on the road they get outscored by about 3/4 of a run. The Orioles get outscored 2.5 runs a game on the road.
That's a ton.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable number.
0-2 delivery breaking ball that's going to miss inside.
And I always, you know, I've never pitched in Camden Yards, but you sit up there in the booth, you walk down in the stadium to throw out the first pitch. It's very friendly if you're a hitter, not if you're a pitcher, and their ERA is 3.6, 6.19 on the road.
Talked about it. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Especially when they're fly ball pitchers for the most part, the Orioles starters. Jonathan Scope on the hop. He'll make the easy flip over. Mancini is there to get it, and there are 2 down. Join the Oriole Advocates, the 25th anniversary of Oriole Park. It'll be the luncheon celebrating that Friday, August 18 from noon to 2. That'll be at the warehouse. Celebrate the ballpark that forever changed baseball and honor returning members of the 92 team. Tickets $100. For details 410-247-2703. That's Friday, August 18. 2 away, nobody on. Here's the home run hitting Matt Davidson. 13th home run, 2nd inning, leading the inning off. 3 home runs in this series against the Orioles, and now has 7 RBIs in this series against the O's. Pitch taken away. He is the designated hitter in the ball game, batting in the number 8 spot.
Yeah, we saw him when the Orioles went to Arizona in 2013, and again, he, you know, #1 draft choice. So we trade Addison Reed for him. He has a terrific arm, and you know, he goes down there. You get a guy that potentially is going to be really a good DH, third baseman. Now they hadn't gotten Todd Frazier at that point. You know, Brayu is a pretty good first baseman, so he fits in the DH slot, and he never had a problem in the minor leagues hitting home runs.
Here's the 1-1 delivery to him. White Sox, as we said, are not a home run hitting ball club. They've got 70 on the year, which ranks them 13th in the American League in home runs, 5th in average, 9th in runs, 13th in homers. 1 ball, 2 strikeout. Bundy looking for a clean inning here, and that'll be fouled back into the seats. Dylan Bundy with the long innings. Pitch count up a little bit, although not extraordinarily high for what we've seen of late. But
yeah, he throws about 16.3, so he's usually pretty efficient.
1 ball 2 strike delivery on the way. Look out behind him over his head.
Now, when you get a inexperienced umpire, he might have tossed him right there. Curveball, didn't mean to do it, but Cal Gosman got thrown out of the game.
And Bundy's already hit
there
one
are some
better.
umpires think that that's the way you throw it, guys, by hitting him with a breaking ball. And of course, he did hit 3 home runs, but if you're going to hit him, drill him in the hip with a fastball.
2-2 delivery, and that's going to be up and in.
You can see he's just trying to. I mean, he did throw him a fastball for strike 1, but he's trying to stay away from it and still kind of talking to himself, trying to figure it out.
3 balls 2 strikes and 2 down. Davidson. Sanchez was hit by a pitch earlier in the game, and the pitch is going to be inside. He walked it.
He thought it was a strike. It wasn't a great slider, but it did look like it caught the inside corner. Take a look. Let's look at right where the umpire's sitting. Again, it appeared to have the corner, but he didn't think so.
So a base runner on with 2 down. And the White Sox continue it with Willie Garcia. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. Garcia, runner at first, 2 away. Short lead at first base. Pitch away for a ball. Claimed off waivers from the Pittsburgh Pirates January of this year. He was at AAA ball. He was named the Indians Defensive Player of the Year. Last year he spent it with the Cleveland organization at Indianapolis, and then he had his opportunity and Pirates decided no, and here he is. 1-0 count. Willie Garcia with 2 down. Davidson, base runner at first base. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts so far for Bundy. Breaking ball will miss inside. Games Bundy has started. The Orioles are 1 over 500. 7 wins, 6 losses in Bundy's starts. 2-0 count. Heading way out in front.
Well, young hitter. He's looking fastball. He's going to, when you wind up, he's starting to swing. And he swings right through that hanging slider. And of course, not only rookies do that. I mean, there were a lot of guys that start helicoptering when you got behind him, looking for the fastball.
Can't do much of that anymore. The no fastball count rule. That's to right. Trumbo over. And Mark is there to put it away. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. White Sox with the early lead.
We thank all our military personnel that serve our nation. You are the true heroes.
On our East Winds page, the Rays 102 home runs, 67 games. That is the quickest in club history. Now they've added to some of this today. 294 hits in innings 1 through 4, the most in the majors. They're jumping out on ball clubs. For Pablo Sandoval, 3 plate appearances last 4 games. Where is he? John Farrell, manager, regaining his third base job. I wouldn't rule it out, but look at it like this. Pablo's our guy, and it's up to us to get the most out of him, and that's ongoing. That from the Boston Herald. He had a 1 for 2. Pablo Sandoval did in the ball game today.
Yep. And players will tell you, even though they might have maybe their performance led to being benched, it's hard to come out of a slump when you're sitting on the bench.
Numbers seem to stay the same.
Yeah, not going down any.
And that one to the hole and backhanded, but long throw.
Oh, he got it.
No. Trumbo rather will get the hit, but what a play made by the shortstop Anderson.
Yeah, I thought Tim Anderson was just going to catch it and put it in his pocket. But this is from short left field. It's a curveball. And again, I mean, look at this toss, and it's right on the money. Kind of a rainbow.
Not quite. Trumbo will take it. He gets a leadoff single.
But the point you made, again, the Orioles can hit home runs. They are a fly ball hitting team. They need to start hitting a few. Not trying to, of course, and get back in the game. You know, that's what Gonzalez does. He can throw home runs.
He has given up 12. Runner on at first base, and the breaking ball will miss down low. Trey Mancini up. So the Orioles with Mancini and Scope due up. Try and get to it here, down by a score of 5-1. Gonzalez will look. Trumbo not a big lead at first base, and the pitch is going to miss outside. Not overpowering, so he has to work around and find his spots. Try and keep hitters off balance. 2-0 count. Trumbo the leadoff single. Orioles leadoff man on 2 out of 4. Came back inside and will miss with that one.
No, you can see. I mean, you talked about 2-0 is not a fastball count. Try to cut it a little bit. Mancini said that's not what I'm looking for.
So Mancini will take a walk. Obviously, the Orioles looking for base runners. Set up, down and away. Pitch is there, right there for a strike.
Yeah, taken anyway because of the scoreboard. But we saw him last night hit one, what, 110 miles per hour off the right field wall. I mean, the home run the other night was in that same range. So he can hit the ball anywhere with power.
Pitch on the way to him will be outside. So there is the first walk surrendered, and the Orioles get 2 on, nobody out. Fourth inning of Orioles baseball is brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyota, what drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. Well, a great chance for the Orioles here in the 4th inning. 2 on, nobody out. Jonathan Scope, RBI double, his first time up. 5-6-0 for the White Sox. 1-4-2 for the Orioles. One of the White Sox runs unearned that came in the 3-run second inning. Scope with his 4-game hit streak extended. Chance to help offensively, and the pitch taken down low for a ball.
Yeah, he's trying to finesse his way through the rest of this game.
Yep.
Well, Pelfrey got the big lead on Monday for the White Sox. He couldn't get out through the 4th. The Orioles ended up scoring 7 but gave up 10.
Runners off first and second base. 1-0 delivery, ground ball to the hole. Anderson can't get it. They're going to hold the runner up at third, and that'll load him up. So the Orioles, Jonathan Scope 2 for 2 in the ball game, and the Orioles right back in it here in the 4th with 3 on.
Yeah, curveball. The Trumbo muscled into left. This is a slider, same thing. This time Anderson can't catch it, but again, I mean, it's not a horrible pitch, but it was up enough where you get a little bit of leverage. One down and away. That's the strikeout or the ground ball double play ball. So Jonathan 2 for 2 tonight, and talking to Howie Clark over at first.
And Wellington Castillo, flied out to right field, will stand in. No grand salamis in his career. He has had one chance with the bases loaded this year, picked up a base hit, 2 RBIs. Castillo waiting on it. Pitch will be up high for a ball. This is the chance where the Orioles need to have a big inning.
Well, I was watching Miguel's last start, and what happens again, he gets from the stretch and he starts going left, and he cuts out of his windup, and his stuff's not good enough where he can recover. Maybe he's just trying to, away. Again, when you go left, and that's to his left, it's hard to throw the ball back into the strike zone. And, you can throw a hanging slider like that. You can't get on top of it, and that's when he gets into trouble, and that could be his undoing here.
He's behind on the count, 2-0. He struggles when he does not get the first strike, and he's not been throwing first strikes tonight. Hitters are .330 against him, and the first pitch is a ball. .247 if the first pitch is a strike. 2-0 count at Castillo. Runners on every base. Ground ball. They stayed back. Going to try for one at the plate, and not going to get it. Thrown wild by Frazier. So the White Sox respond with a bit of errant defense on their own as he tried to go home off balance.
Well, the dreaded extra out, and the Orioles will take advantage of it. He knew he couldn't turn 2. His only play was going to be at first because it hit slowly. And again, just figured, you know what, and look how off balance. He's going towards first base, and he's going to catch it, throw back. Very, very hard play to make. Narvaez, the catcher, can't get it. Omar can't flag it down. So not only do you get the second run, it keeps the bases loaded with nobody out.
It'll be called a fielder's choice and an RBI for Castillo. The Orioles.
How can that be an error? It's a routine out at first because he made a bad judgment.
Not the official score, and that may be changed.
Yeah.
So the bases remain loaded. What a chance now for David Washington in his first game. Strikeout victim his first time up. Bases loaded and 1 away.
Well, again, he's a big guy. And again, trying to make contact. Strikeout guy in the minors, but with a lot of power.
0-1 the count. Big at bat.
When he gets back, I mean, that's kind of how you load. But again, you got a veteran pitcher and a rookie and a guy that can change speeds.
0-2 the count. Mancini, Scope, Castillo, the base runners, and gets him on heat up.
Yep, didn't have to throw him a strike, and that's what you can do with young players.
So 3 strikeouts for Gonzalez, 2 against Washington. That's a big out.
Well, they asked Buck Showalter why Pedro Alvarez. You think about calling him up, and Buck said, "Well, we thought about it, but I don't think Buck makes those decisions."
And Alvarez was 0 for 24, 10 strikeouts in his last 6 games. In the air, shallow center, and the play will be made by Willie Garcia. So, despite the fact the Orioles have these chances, they're going by the wayside now with a couple down, and the base is still loaded.
Well, you take the advantage of the inexperience of David Washington, so you get 1 out, and then you throw a perfect slider on the first pitch. J.J. Hardy, who's been struggling, swings at a pitcher's pitch, and that's how you get a pop-up. Miguel Gonzalez says now all of a sudden, in spite of Frazier's play, I can get out of this inning.
Kim to the plate this year, 0 for 3 with the sacks full. He has flied out right and left on the 2 fly balls. They'll put the shift on against him. Sanchez way out, second baseman in right field, right where he's standing. Can't get it. 1 run will score. Second one coming home. Here's the throw. They're going to go to third. Runner trapped. The run has already scored, though. The rundown is dropped. Back to second base. Sanchez will put the tag on. So Castillo caught in a rundown. And fortunate for the White Sox, Sanchez heads up, got over there to back this play up.
Yeah, you think Sanchez is going to catch it, and then all of a sudden they cut it off right here. They're going to take the out, which will get him out of the inning. but it's a bad throw. Anderson doesn't get it. There's Sanchez, who couldn't catch it initially after diving in the outfield.
The 2-run score as they crossed the plate before that out was made. So the Orioles pick up a 3-run 4th inning and do take advantage of the opportunity, and another good job by Kim in finding a way to put a ball in play and get himself a base hit and help the Orioles offense out. So the O's right back in it with a big 4th inning.
So the White Sox, and again, look at the low ERAs. The runs scored are what, a run and a half higher, and then what happens on the road. ERA goes up dramatically for the Orioles, not quite as dramatic, but again, it's all about run differential. And if you score less than you give up, which is the case on the road for both of these teams, that's how you get 10 games, 12 games under 500.
So the Orioles back in it, down by just 1 as Kim gets the big hit. Every game he's in, something good happens at the plate with him, and it is a 1-run ball game. 2 RBIs for Kim, and that toss out, Castillo getting caught in the rundown on the Kim single, went 9-3, 5-6 on the putout. Both runs had crossed, so they end up with 3 runs, 3 hits, and 1 left on base in the 4th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Leadoff batter Sanchez hit by a pitch and scored, and he is flied out to center field. Bundy's delivery, the off speed ties him up, and it's there for a strike.
Yeah, nice little curveball there. First one he's been able to throw over.
So Bundy hanging in, shutting him down in the 3rd inning, and that's when the Orioles were able to come back and get themselves right back in it with their offense. Wild game in the field. We've seen the ball thrown all over the place by both teams. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that's fouled off the fists and back. So Sanchez hangs in. Yolmer Sanchez has hit .306 over the last 11, picking up some extra base hits, a home run, and 3 doubles during that spree for him. 1-2 delivery by Bundy, and had to wait on that a little bit. Adam Jones, and 1 away here in the bottom half of the inning. A one-of-a-kind dad deserves a one-of-a-kind gift. Father's Day at Orioles Park will be packed with new memories. The Birds battle the Cardinals. All fans 15 and over receive an Orioles grayscale cap. Kids 4 to 14 run the bases, presented by Wise Markets. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Sunday, Dad's Day. Here's Cabrera. A double and a run scored in the 2nd, and he is grounded out. And will take the pitch inside for a ball. So he's now gone 5 for 9 in this series against the Orioles. Melky Cabrera will be followed by Abreu. 1-0 pitch on the way, taken, first strike. Never moved.
Yeah, he's not a glamour guy, but the more you see of Cabrera, and we only see them, what, 7 times a year, because he started with the Yankees and saw him all kinds of times, and then he's got 200 hits in Kansas City and so on and so on down the road. You realize that he doesn't hit a lot of home runs, but he's a 286 lifetime hitter. He throws about as well as any left fielder in baseball, very much like Brett Gardner. We've seen that in this series. And he's pesky, switch hitter.
Great arm. 2 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way. Cabrera will fight that one off, and looking to have a big season for another big contract.
Yeah, I mentioned Bobby Abreu, and his eyes lit up. He said, boy, that's my man. He was my mentor in New York. And if anybody remembers Bobby Abreu, he could really play.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Defense straight up on him. Melky Cabrera waits, takes the pitch inside. Ball headed towards his back leg on that one. He's played more games than any other member of the White Sox team against the Orioles, and has an even .300 average against the Orioles coming into this ball game. 3-2 delivery on the way by Bundy. Another one of those silo shots coming back. It'll be over the screen and out of play.
Yeah, when the Orioles used to play the Yankees and Abreu was playing, and you'd always see Abreu, Cabrera, and then Robinson Cano. They'd always be hanging around because, again, Bobby, a veteran player. He could hit home runs, steal bases. He's not a switch hitter. Very much more like Cano.
3-2, and he walked him. 3rd walk surrendered by Bundy. And that will come with 1 away here in the 4th inning. Oriole fans, when the O's score 5 runs or more, get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com with promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. Well, here's where Dylan Bundy needs one of those shutdown innings after the Orioles got 3 for him in the 4th. Jose Abreu a single, RBI, sac fly. Now with 6 hits, 10 at bats in this series.
And he lays off the one pitch you think he's going to chase. And that's what, when you're seeing the ball well and you're letting it travel and you're using the whole field. I mean, you'd love to throw him a good breaking ball and get a ground ball, one of your infielders. Well, he's not slow. He doesn't run particularly fast.
Abreu the 1-0 count. Cabrera off first base, and the pitch that's going to jackknife him away. Jose Abreu has had 6 runs scored over the last 4 games coming into this one, and now has 9 hits in his last 18 at bats. So a hot stick at the plate for the White Sox. Abreu 2-0 count, 1 down. Melky Cabrera 3rd walk on at first. Taken. He was not going to swing at that for some reason, and the count goes to 2-1. Whatever he thought he might see on that pitch was not what came, and so he just held the bat. Two ball, 1 strike count. Orioles down by just 1 after trailing 5-1. And Cabrera will go back. Dylan Bundy 2-1 delivery on the way, and again in near the fists. Didn't go around on it. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Dylan Bundy, the 3 walks in this game, close to the high of 4. He had 4 against Boston, 4 against Detroit. That's as many as he's walked in a ball game this year. He has a 3-1 count on Abreu. Abreu is 6 for 8 off him lifetime, and gave him a nasty pitch down and away.
Yeah, the one you want him to put in play, but he swung right through it with vigor. That's a nice little slider. Doesn't pick it up. Yeah, the problem he's given to not only the Orioles but other teams is that a lot of times he'll just take that slider and hit it the other way, and we've seen him do that about 2 or 3 times in this series.
Outfield plays deep all the way around on him. 3-2 count. Cabrera off first base, not running. Brea will pop it up in the air. Second base Scope. He'll put that one away, and there are 2 down here in the 4th inning, and both these pitchers pretty much true to form. The ups coming in the air.
Yeah,
2 down.
I don't know if you can throw a better fastball on a 3-2 count to a hot hitter. Got it right in on his fist.
That'll bring up Garcia. Yasiel Garcia, 2 singles. He has scored a run. Now has a 7-game hit streak going, with a runner at first and 2 away. Garcia 3rd in the league in average starting the day, also 3rd in RBIs. Nelson Cruz of Seattle started the day leading the American League with 52 runs batted in. Garcia's got 48. Aaron Judge was 2nd with 49. And that pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. Garcia backs out for a moment. Bundy 0-1, 2 down. Tougher the situation, the tougher Bundy has been this year.
Yep.
0-1 pitch, and started, stopped. Ramon De Jesus down at first, the umpire. Dylan, with the bases empty, hitters at 271. You get somebody on 188. You get somebody in scoring position, it drops down to 179.
Yeah, that number probably went up a little bit, but and again, and the pitch count not where he wants it at 86 because of the sloppy play behind him. And he hasn't been at his best, but
1-1 delivery, foul tipped into the mid.
But it's, you don't see too many young pitchers in their first 4 years starting be able to gut it out like he has in this game. And I know it's only the 4th, but he's going to hang around for another inning and hope they get him a couple of runs. And I know the Orioles and Buck Showalter are hoping that they can actually have some meaningful innings from their bullpen tonight.
Garcia 1-2. Cabrera at first, made no move to take off, and fouled upstairs. So the count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Dylan Bundy after win number 7. Dylan was 10-6 last year. He's dropped his ERA a full run a ball game. 4.02 last year, and down to 3.05 coming into tonight's game. And fly balls have not hurt him this year. And the pitch will be taken up and in. So Garcia working the count here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tough at bats.
Yep. Once trying to go to his weakness and doesn't get him to chase. Well, Rick Renneria, who manages the White Sox, said that the average of Garcia is a product of seeing the ball well and working the strike zone well for a young hitter. And he only turned 26 on Monday. He's come a long way in those regards.
Bundy with a long hold. 2-2 delivery on the way, and got him on a pitch down and away. So Dylan gets his 3rd strikeout. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We completed 4 here in Chicago, and it's a 1-run affair. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you, and by visitannapolis.org. Create your moment at visitannapolis.org. Thunderstorms around the area throughout most of the day here in Chicago, clearing up tonight. White Sox have a 5-4 lead. Game delayed an hour and a half because of rain, and that's why we are just going to the 5th inning. These two teams will wrap up the series tomorrow. It'll be Chris Tillman against David Holmberg, a left-hander. The game will be on at 1:30 O's Extra and at 2 o'clock on Masson for the final of this 4-game set. The Orioles hope it'll be a chance to come out of here 2-2. Adam Jones, a base hit, and he has grounded out Miguel Gonzalez, and that's going to be driven down the line, but again a foul ball. So Adam, the long foul ball off Gonzalez. Adam with the 4 hits, 10 at bats in this series. First pitch strikes, we said, so important for Gonzalez. Not that they aren't for everybody, but Gonzalez's numbers really jump up if he doesn't get it. 0-1 delivery will be inside with heat.
Well, then he can pitch out of the zone. Steve Stone and I were talking today. Steve, of course, been here in Chicago as the White Sox Cub for the Orioles, won a Cy Young Award. Said, "Hey, how many guys do want to pitch in the zone?" And that's what happens right there. I mean, that's a home run swing, home run pitch, and for Miguel, he just got lucky. And he knows that. Been around long enough. You never know it. You would never know what he's thinking. You're always taught never to wear your emotions on your sleeves. You never know what Miguel Gonzalez is going on.
He and Bundy are both really good at hiding emotions when they're out there playing. You don't see much from either of them. 1-2 delivery out of a looper that's going to go to second base. Sanchez was moved over, perfectly positioned, and Adam is retired. Miguel got out of the way of that one. Enter to win a meet and greet with Adam Jones on Twitter. Look for this photo on @MassonOrioles to enter, and be sure to check out the 811 bike and car courtesy of Miss Utility this Saturday and Sunday at Oriole Park. Follow @MassonOrioles on Twitter for more info. Miss Utility reminds you to always call 811 before you dig. It's the law. One away in the 5th inning. Manny Machado is lined out to third. His last time up.
Yeah, I bet that ball was hit about 110 miles per hour. The line drive to Frazier at third. And if I'm Miguel Gonzalez, I'm going, okay, he just missed a home run on a hanging breaking ball. Where can I go and keep the ball in the ballpark with a 1-run lead?
3 for 8, Manny against Miguel. 1-0 delivery to him and the off-speed pitch.
Well, that'll work. Great splitter.
Gonzalez, 1 ball, 1 strike count. Not deep into ball games. Miguel Gonzalez will get that 5 or 6 innings in most of the time. He has gone as many as 7 2/3 against the Tigers. That pitch is going to miss down low. Mixing it up against Manny.
Yeah, then 3-1 in April, where he actually went into the 9th inning once and 8 innings another time. That's a couple of months ago.
Yeah, he had the hot start. Real good April. Pitch on the way, in the air, first base. Abreu.
Yeah, Manny getting himself out there, swinging a ball out of the zone, which is exactly what, and you can see him hits himself on the helmet.
So Machado's got an 0 for 3 in the ball game.
And the longer you allow Miguel to get you out, the deeper you get into their bullpen, and that's when the flamethrowers come. You got about another 2 innings, and we saw Rick Renneria. He brought in Jake Petrichka, who used to be one of their late inning guys, just coming off the disabled list, to pitch a couple of the middle innings, and they ended up winning 10-7 on Monday.
2 down, strike taken. Mark Trumbo, a base hit, scored. He is 1 for 2. He's also struck out. Scope had the RBI double, came in the 2nd inning on a misplayed ball by Willie Garcia in center. Castillo got RBI base hit in the 4th, and Kim a 2 RBI single in that 4th inning. The White Sox jumped out early, 2 runs, 3 hits in the 1st. Anderson an RBI base hit. Another one score on an error in the second inning. Davidson has had a home run, his 13th. Sac fly, Abreu. The ball game has been a little bit of everything so far. 2 ball 1 strike count on Mark Trumbo. Gonzalez with a walk and 3 strikeouts. Bundy 3 and 3. 2-1 pitch on the way to him. My mariachi hero, Miguel Gonzalez. Loves mariachi music and he can play it and sing it. 2-2 delivery on the way. Trumbo's going to get a base hit. He had to pull the arms back in and did.
Did you see that ball? I've never seen a ball kind of have English on it on a line drive.
That was spinning.
Yep. I mean, it started out left, and again, I think he breaks his bat on it, but I mean, with one hand, and it's just kind of spin its way, trying to get it in. You could see him break the bat. He's holding part of it, and then it just kind of goes from left to right. A little fade. Well, we're not too far from where they were. They're going to play the U.S. Open up outside of Milwaukee.
Pretty good golf shot.
Yeah, the Jack Nicklaus fade keeps it in the fairway.
So Trumbo's on with the second hit. He's 2 for 3. Orioles get the potential tying run on. And here's Mancini, who's walked and doubled. Trey will drive that one to right field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Trumbo on his way to third. Garcia up with it, gets it back in, and the Orioles cover the corners here in the 5th inning. 2 down. Mancini 2 for 2, and 3 times up, 3 times on.
Yeah, Trumbo keeps the inning alive by kind of getting jammed, and then right here off the end of the bat, a little slider that stays down and in, and he just kind of loops it into right. Nobody playing there. You see Mark Trumbo tying run, or at least potential tying run, going all the way to third.
So the Orioles chance for a 2-out RBI. Jonathan Scope, he has singled, doubled. He has picked up an RBI and scored a run in the ballgame. The Orioles are 3 for 9 in these situations. And a pitch. Called strike with a check swing.
Yeah, you got Jonathan anxious. I mean, great 357 runner in scoring position. The ball way inside. So he does swing. Good news is he didn't hit it. But it does allow Miguel Gonzalez to get ahead in the count.
Orioles out hitting the White Sox 8-6 now, but down by 1. A 1 delivery on the way, and Scope fouls it off.
Yeah, again, another ball. Again, because you swing at the first one, now you swing another ball in off the plate. You can see again trying to get his hands in, and the only place you can hit it is right off your shin or your shoe.
And the guard pull loose. Fixes that up again. Navia's out the catcher with the signs. 0-2 count, 2 away. Orioles with 2 on. Trumbo and Mancini. 0-2 delivery on the way in the dirt. Bounce that one out in front. Good stop made to hold the runner at third base.
Yeah, Narvaez, nice job of getting in front of that. Yeah, a little slider in the dirt. Yeah, we saw Omar do a nice job last night. And that ball actually looked like it hit a divot and even went farther from right to left.
So 1-2. A big at bat for the Orioles. Gonzalez delivery to him. Scope will take another one down low. Again blocked. Holding Trumbo at third base.
It looked like a changeup. It wasn't a typical splitter because maybe he overthrew it, but it didn't have that typical tumbling effect. I mean, right out of your hand, it's a ball. So again, it's not a very purposeful pitch.
Hitters have done well in these situations against Gonzalez, hitting at .294 with runners in scoring position. 2 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way, and a big cut foul back. Jonathan keeps the at bat alive.
Yeah, 90 and knee high in the middle of the plate. That's your home run territory. And don't forget, and I'm sure Miguel Gonzalez knows this, is that if you hang a breaking ball, there is no better breaking ball hitter on the Orioles than Jonathan Schoop. And that's why his numbers are up this year.
Runners off first and third, 2-2 delivery outside. So good battle here with Gonzalez and Schoop. 3-2, 2 away. Going from first base will be Mancini on the pitch. Orioles 2-out rally here after 2 down. Trumbo the single, Mancini the single. And the 3-2 pitch to Schoop, and he walks him, and they're loaded. So Jonathan not biting on it. He's been up 3 times and on all 3. Second walk surrendered by Gonzalez.
Yeah, there's Don Cooper, and again, they're going to get some action up in their bullpen. Guys are scrambling out there. He's going to come out and have a little walk and talk.
While they get the bullpen going, they'll discuss it.
Yeah, 15th year as we look at was on the other night. He came in on Monday night.
And the home plate umpire, Quinn Walcott, will go out to break this one up. Well, Castillo, who's going to be coming to the plate, has had his chances. Gonzalez just trying to get through the 5th inning, keep the lead, give himself a chance to win a ball game. Not likely to go beyond the inning if he can get through it. Castillo flied out in the 2nd inning with a runner on at second base. And then with the 4th inning bases loaded, a fielder's choice, which would get a run in. He would be caught in a rundown and be taken out on the play. Now they're loaded again, and the pitch is outside.
Yeah, series of non-competitive pitches. In other words, pitches out of your hand. Hitter has no interest in swinging at because they're not anywhere going from a strike to a ball. They're just ball to a ball. And they're just kind of wasted pitches.
1-0 delivery on the way to him, and that's going to be fouled away.
Yeah, the history of this 11-game on the road losing streak for the Orioles is seems like in all these situations, you know, whether they're in Houston, in Detroit, somebody hit a high chopper right back up the middle for a 2-run single. The Orioles need to try that right here. Just hit it where they're not playing.
Gonzalez, the 1-1 delivery to Wellington, and he hit it where they are playing and maybe where they're not. Way back, and goodbye, home run. A grand slam home run. Wellington Castillo, the first of his career. And the Orioles get the big blow they have looked for in this series as Castillo delivers and the Orioles take the lead.
Well, a couple of non-competitive pitches. Now you have to come back in the strike zone. Even this ball's letter high. The Orioles were Baltimore on the road, and that's kind of where it ended. Well, that's where the pitch ended. The ball ended up in the hedge.
So Wellington Castillo with a big 2-out hit, and the Orioles go up 8-5 on the grand slam. Wendy Goodnight, our Maryland lottery contestant, 500 on that one. Congratulations. Clears the bases, 2 outs, and the pitch taken for a strike.
Well, there it is. I mean, pretty much right around his number to Baltimore, and it sails out of here. And Willie Garcia took a couple of steps, and then, I mean, back off those speakers in dead center.
Well, the Orioles, the long ball, that'll be the 13th home run hit off Gonzalez. First grand slam for Castillo. All of it created with the 2 outs that started the inning.
Oh yeah, really. I mean, a broken bat single, even though it was a good swing by Trumbo. Mancini hit a looper. Certainly doesn't help to walk Jonathan Schoop, but maybe he earned it by getting hits the first 2 times up, and then you end up throwing the big fly, which is what Davidson did for them last night, the grand salami. 5
home runs picked up on the year now by Castillo, and 21 RBIs for the Oriole catcher. As the Oriole catchers continue to provide some real good offense for the Orioles. Joseph Pena Castillo. Ball put in the air, left center field. Coming over to get it is Garcia. But the Orioles have a big 4-run fifth inning. They do it on 3 hits and a walk. The grand slam home run. Wellington Castillo. Orioles up by 3. June 19th through the 22nd at Oriole Park. On Wednesday, June 21, all fans are going to get the Dylan Bundy t-shirt. Good seats remain and are available for as low as $15. For tickets, go to Orioles.com or 888-848. There is Wellington Castillo with his first career grand slam, his first 5 RBI game, and an RBI earlier on a fielder's choice in the 4th inning. So a big offensive night. And Dylan Bundy, the benefactor on the mound, goes to work here in the 5th inning. Frazier up. He'll pick the pitch up. He has drawn a walk and popped out. Anderson will follow him here in the 5th as the Orioles offense comes alive. 8 runs on 9 hits for them. This will be handled by Mancini. He was moved over.
Yeah, he was lonely over there. The only guy on the right side. That is 2 times in a row that Todd Frazier, who had come into this series red hot, has swung at pitchers' pitches, even though in this case Dylan Bundy was behind him. And you say thank you very much. That's 92 pitches. A lot of them early.
Tim Anderson, RBI base hit, and he is struck out. Anderson will take the pitch away for the ball. Anderson with a 3 for 8 lifetime off Dylan Bundy. Bundy looking to go 3-0 against the White Sox in his career. And the off-speed delivery again has him way out in front. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Orioles had struggled to get some runs. They'd scored 3 or fewer runs 31 times, and a lot of it during this losing streak. They get out of that here in those 31 games, 3 or less. They were 8-23 tonight. The offense providing some good support for Dylan Bundy.
Well, it's not over yet, and it's not over for either team, but yeah, it's a nice 5 innings of offense.
2-1 delivery on the way, and that's way up. A 3-ball, 1 strike count. Dylan Bundy gave up the runs in the first 2 innings. 2 in the first, 3 in the second. 2 of those runs earned in the 2nd inning. 3-1 pitch on the way, and a little chopper, swinging bunt, foul. He has held the White Sox down now to a walk in the 5th, a hit, a walk in the 4th inning, and that's been it for base runners over the last 2 1/3. Full count delivery on the way. And he got him.
What a gutsy pitch that is. You know, good fastball hitter. That's what he got the RBI base hit earlier in the game. So he throws him a 3-2 slider. Not only does he throw it, it's a quality. About as good as you can throw it. Young hitter. And he just fools him with an outstanding pitch.
Narvaez will stand in. He has grounded out twice. No hits, 4 at-bats in the series against the Orioles. Omar up with the bases empty, and again Bundy will try and retire the side 1-2-3.
You know, you would think he would think about bunting here. Manny's way back at third. You know, you're trying to get on. You're 3 runs down. You have a guy that's already hit 3 home runs in this series waiting on deck. And all you have to do is get it in fair territory, and he's got himself a base hit. But that won't happen.
100th pitch of the game will miss outside. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Davidson, who's had the home run, waiting on deck. One delivery by Bundy, and that'll be over the top.
Yeah, there's the changeup.
Dillon trying to work his way through the 5th. And we'll see whether or not he goes another. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. A little looper foul off the handle that time. And Narvaez with a 1 ball 2 strike count still. Bundy again. And that one's lifted in the air to right field. Trumbull going over. He'll get there and he'll put it away. So the 1-2-3 inning for Dylan Bundy, and the Orioles on top by 3.
We thank all the military personnel who have served our great country. You are the true heroes.
The birthday of the U.S. Army, being brought to you by DynCorp International. We serve today for a better tomorrow. And by Navy Federal Credit Union. Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving the armed forces, veterans, and their families for over 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA. 242 years ago, U.S. Army established to defend our nation. And Masson, all of our sponsors, salute all of America's Army for their willingness to sacrifice in protecting our country. So Miguel Gonzalez onto the ball game.
Yeah, they knock him out. He had a 5-1 lead, and then again, now, you know, Frazier threw the wrong base. That's 1 run, but the grand slam by Wellington Castillo, the definitive blow, the center field fence. Orioles went down, moving down 5-4. So again, Juan Minaya, and again, he was claimed on waivers last year from the Houston Astros, and then went down to AAA Charlotte. Started the year there this year. Hard thrower. And again, fastball at about 94, throws it about 50% in, and then a curveball and a slider.
2/3 of an inning against the Orioles with a strikeout. That's all he's appeared against them this year. And the pitch taken for a strike. Hardy leads it off. JJ has flied to center field twice. Waiting will be Kim and Jones, with the Orioles on top of the 6th inning. And that's going to be there for a strike by Minaya. Mike in the bullpen for the Orioles. First action we've seen from the O's. Manaya's 0-2 delivery on the way. Hardy takes it. It'll be a little bit outside. Minaya 1-2. Good bullpen work this year by the White Sox. They've been strong. As Jim said, the later you get in the game, the better you see out of this bullpen.
Well, one lefty and what, 7 righties in an 8-man bullpen. With Patricia back, it gives an even a better back end or in the middle innings. We haven't even seen Dave Robertson, their closer, which normally would say is a good thing. But again, 10-7 9th inning and 6-1, he hasn't had to pitch.
1-2 delivery on the way to Hardy, and some sharp movement late.
That ball, I mean, that ball was actually probably over the plate, but again, Narvaez goes inside. He misses by about a foot, and then he reaches back over the plate, and they don't get the call. Boy,
2 ball, 2 strikeout.
Certainly helps if you can get it somewhere near the glove.
JJ on a check. Didn't go.
You take a look and catches it and immediately points.
So Hardy with a 3 ball, 2 strikeout to start out the 6th. JJ rips that one to left field. Line drive, hit hard. Reaching for it off the glove. It'll bounce off the wall. Played by Cabrera, trying to go for 2, sliding, and he's got himself a double.
Yeah,
JJ Hardy leads it off for the 2-bagger.
Get a little bit concerned the way Cabrera can throw, and then he stopped because I think he thought the ball was caught. Again, he hits this ball hard. I mean, it's the old AJ right there, and then he thinks right there. I think he thought he caught it, so he kind of stops right here, and then he speeds up. And we've already seen Cabrera this throw a little bit offline, but still pretty accurate. Well, again, couldn't quite get back off the, really not even the web of the glove, one of the elongated fingers that outfielder gloves are.
So Minaya gets greeted by a double off the glove, and Hardy's on at second base, and the Orioles reach double-digit hits with 10. Kim has had one of those, and an important one, a 2 RBI base hit, came in the 4th inning. Kim will take the pitch for a strike. Last time the Orioles scored this many runs was back on May 31 against the Yankees, when they scored 10 in a 10-4 win. They did have 7 against the White Sox in this series, but it was a 10-7 loss. They have upped that tonight with 8 and a lead. 0-1 count and a step up. Kim back in. Hardy short lead. Anderson, the shortstop, right behind him at second. Kim will loop that one foul.
Yeah, he'd love to either get him in, get him over. A little harder to do with down by 2 strikes. What did he get a big hit for the Orioles earlier on? Make it what, 5-3?
Yeah, he drove in 2 out single. Orioles 3-run 4th inning. Oh, 2 count. Minaya with a delivery, and Kim in the air to center. And will send Garcia back. Runner will tag.
Yeah, so 17 assists.
Throw's going to come into third base, and Hardy gets it.
Yeah, you can see he's got a good arm, but again, very difficult. So a nice read, nice tag up.
So the Orioles get a chance to get another one in. He moved him up. Productive at bat in that regard. Now Adam Jones will look for the RBI. Kim drove that a long way. Adams had a single his first time up, grounded out twice. Infield will move in with J.J. Hardy on at third base. You can be pretty sure Hardy's not going to go on contact on anything on the ground here.
It's kind of an amazing game where when you go back to the second inning, the Orioles had their infield in. Now it's the White Sox.
In the sixth.
Yeah, in the sixth.
One down, wild, cut by Adam.
Yeah, didn't pick up that slider. He's going to talk to himself. What are you doing? Well, that's what the good slider does, because you don't pick up that spin. You think it's a fastball, and he knows, he knows he's a fastball slider guy, and he goes, "Oh, that's a fastball." Nope, it's not.
0-1 the count on him. Adam got one there.
Yeah, see, there's one that's a little more hittable, and now he's wondering how I missed that one.
And the count will go to 2 strikes from Minaya. As we have seen in all of these ball games, these runs so important to pick up when you have a chance.
Well, when you get the runner to third, if you're pitching, you're trying to stay away from contact, especially in the air. That's what Adam's trying to do. If you're a hitter, you don't need to get a hit if you can, and that's not always easy to do. Get it in the air somewhere.
Adam, a ground ball to the hole, and with the infield drawn in, he's got the base hit at an RBI. Hardy will score, and the Orioles have a 9-5 lead.
See, well, there's the Adam Jones 300 swing, just like he did last night. Off of Derek Holland. He looked for a breaking ball and hit it to right field. I mean, look at this. He knows where people are playing. He knows Sanchez is in. He knows that's a ball he can hit because he can control the bat. I mean, that is a unbelievably sounded bat, and it does exactly what the Orioles want. Gets the run in.
30 RBIs for Adam and a 2-for-4 ball game. So the Orioles on top now, 9-5. That will bring up Manny Machado. Machado's had an 0-for-3. One down, infield back at double play depth now. Anaya's pitch foul back. Manny coming into the ball game has had a plus 12 game hit streak against the White Sox. He's gone 3 for 11 now in this series. Manny a 368 average this season against Chicago. 0-1 count. Pitch by Minaya. Manny's going to continue at a base hit out of the reach of Anderson. Adam will go to second base. Machado on with a single. Orioles get their 3rd hit of the inning.
Well, this is a key, and the Orioles have seen this when other teams get to the middle of their bullpen, and you don't get to the better guys at the back. So Minaya came in with an ERA of close to 8 runs a game, so some good at bats, a hanging breaking ball right there. Manny smokes it into left field. Chance to make that 9-5 even greater.
12 hits for the Orioles. Mark Trumbo, a couple of singles, 2 for 3. He has scored 2 runs in the ball game, and Trumbo gets another opportunity. Mark came in 286 with runners in scoring position. He's been closing in on that 290 mark for the Orioles, picking up RBIs, and the pitch is there for a strike. 2 on, 1 down.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time when I'm not saying he's going to hit 47 home runs and lead the major leagues in home runs, but he's certainly a 25 to 35 home run guy, and I would be surprised if he doesn't end up somewhere around those numbers.
Mark coming in with 8 home runs and 29 RBIs. Picking his average up, though. He's closing in on the 260 mark for the year. So the Orioles offense bubbling here tonight. The 9 runs on 12 hits. Chance to do more damage. Jones off second. Machado off first. Pitch will be inside. Rides in for 2-ball 1-strike count. Orioles are going to need this win to stay out of the cellar of the American League East. Two-ball 1-strike count. Good leads at both first and second. And off the mask. That one got the catcher. Elias took that one off the front.
Right, almost dead center.
Count on at 2-2. Bundy, benefactor of this offense, sitting. Talking to Wade Miley. Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way in the dirt blocked. Adams stays at second base.
Yeah, Dylan Bundy's a benefactor of this offense because he hung around. I mean, that's kind of old school baseball in the sense that you know, you want to pitch as long as you can, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the pitch count. So at least get to 5. And again, if the offense comes to the rescue, which they have to this point, you got a chance to win.
It looks like he will be out of there.
And you also get into the part of the Oriole bullpen where you feel, you know, confident because Wright's been pitching well since he was recalled.
3-2 delivery on the way. Reached, popped it back, no play. Zach Trumbo with another one of these long at bats that the Orioles have had tonight as he battles Manaea, trying to pick up another RBI. This will be pitch number 7 in this at bat for Mark. Jones, Machado on the bases. They move the D around, playing into pull in the outfield. Big hole right center. That's Trumbo the other way and foul again. Three ball, 2 strike count, 1 away. Runners not going, and the K.
Yeah, good running fastball. Battled him, but again, you make a quality pitch like this, whether it's on purpose or not. But again, look at that ball run in. Perfect spot in that count.
That will bring up Trey Mancini. Yet another big offensive night for him. Double, single, and a walk. He has scored all 3 times that he has been on in the ball game. Look back to second, nobody there. If Trey qualified, and he doesn't have enough at bats, he'd be on top in the American League average with runners in scoring position. 455 for Trey Mancini. Manaea's delivery to him, and right where the catcher wanted it, down and away.
Yeah, but what we've seen, and that's about as good as you can throw a slider, he makes adjustments. And the other thing is, I don't know if I've heard any interview. We did an interview with him yesterday. He talked about how Brady Anderson got him upright, able to drive the ball, a little more authority through the strike zone. And right there, I mean, that's a similar slider. I already saw it. I don't have any interest in swinging at that.
Manaea evens up the count, missing on that one. Trey now has a 5-game hit streak, and during the streak he's had 8 hits in 12 at bats.
And the other thing is, I mean, they play him almost a conventional defense, but he does hit the ball all over the place.
That ball, that's going to go into left field. Another base hit. Adam Jones comes around to score. Cabrera gets it back into the infield, and the Orioles hit double digits as they double it up on the White Sox with a 10-5 lead.
Yeah, so he lays off the slider, and then he's laying in wait for the fastball, and he gets it. I mean, look how quick the bat gets. And Cabrera, who doesn't even think about throwing Adam Jones out, gets a good jump, running well. That's good to see.
Boy, Mancini, really spectacular work for the Orioles.
He doesn't hit like a rookie. And again, he makes adjustments. He's willing to listen. He can play all over the place. You know, to make this ball club, you got to learn to play the outfield, as you know, Gary. He's done a nice job of it.
He's got a double and 2 singles in this ball game for Mancini. This is his 4th 3-hit game and his 13th multi-hit game of the year. And remember, he has not had all of the at-bats that most of the regulars do. Trey Mancini, when he's had them, though, is getting it done. He's now got 34 runs batted in. And the Orioles still have it going. Runners on at first and second base with 2 down. Jonathan Scopes had a big night already. Fouls it back.
I'm trying to have a bigger night right there.
He's had a double, single, walk, scored twice, and driven in a run. So everybody in the lineup, except for David Washington, making his major league debut, has contributed offensively in one way or the other, getting on, getting a hit, scoring a run, driving them in. 0-1 delivery by Manaea will be popped up. And no play.
Yeah, and the other thing with the Major League Draft, the amateur draft on Monday, Trey Mancini was 8th round. And as Buck Showalter said yesterday, you can find a Major League player in pretty much every round.
With the chances tonight for the Orioles, 6 for 14 with runners in scoring position. 14 chances. They'd had 21 in the first 2 games of this series combined. 0-2 pitch to him in the dirt. Manaea having problems finding a third out.
Well, that's a nice little take right there, because that was almost a strike, and then it dove out of the strike zone, but Jonathan laid off it. And it's not like he's wild. It's just 21 strikes, 8 balls. Just too many strikes and too many hittable strikes.
1-2 delivery on the way to him, outside again. Orioles, half their runs tonight, 5 out of the 10 have been scored with 2 down. Which has been part of the Orioles offense when it's clicking. They have been near the top of the American League in 2-out RBIs. 2-ball, 2-strike count, 2 away. Manny Machado at second base. Mancini's on at first. Manaea wants the signs again and wants to talk.
Well, there's a little factoid on the scoreboard up here that Jonathan Schoop for Curaçao in the 2004 Little League World Series, he actually got the save.
He did.
Yeah.
I got to call it.
Did he really?
I did.
I would imagine he was able to you throw for 46 feet. He was probably throwing about 80. Most of those kids can throw 70. It's like 95.
He was a giant in Little League. Pitch will be taken away.
Well, I remember I did it, I think, like 13 out of 15 years, and I got there right after Cody Webster, and they kept saying where, kind of like when you go into ballparks in the big leagues, where he hit it up on the hill in Williamsport.
3-ball, 2-strike count. Runners go with 2 down, and Schoop will foul that back, send them back to their respective bags. Another 7-pitch at bat. Manaea really having to work, coming on in relief of Gonzalez. He's been touched up for a couple of runs on 4 hits, and 2 more out there. If Schoop can pick up another base hit, he'll add to his RBI totals. Jonathan up to 36 runs batted in, leading the Orioles. Trey Mancini putting his numbers up right behind Jonathan. 3-2 delivery on the way. Runners go, and he got him. Manaea picks up a strikeout, but not before the Orioles add 2 runs. They do it on 4 hits, leave a couple on, and extend their lead.
chance to win. I mean, early on, of course, Narvaez, after he gave up the 2 runs, kind of a sloppy defense behind him. I mean, really settled down. You know, gave the Orioles a chance to do what they've done, which is to come back. They trailed 5-1. They now lead it 10-5. So, you know, again, what has he done all year long? He keeps you in the game. Tonight, the offense maybe not as good as he would like, but again, a lot of pitches, but didn't walk a whole lot of guys, and he gave the Orioles a chance to win. Now it's up to Mike Wright. You know, gets recalled, and actually, again, his pitch a little bit better. And what I like is only the 1 walk in the 9 1/3 innings. So he will come in. And it just looked like they did a little work on his windup, and you know, he's a big guy at 6'7". He's got a good fastball, and it looks like at least his alignment to home plate a lot better than it was last year.
Mike Wright's last outing came against the Yankees on the 10th. He worked an inning, 2 runs, 2 hits, a home run, a walk, and a strikeout. His first appearance against the White Sox this year. Matt Davidson up. Davidson a home run, his 13th in the 2nd inning. He's drawn a walk as well, the DH. Then Garcia and the top of the order Sanchez, who'll lead it off with a base hit.
Yeah, and he's not going to miss the fastball. I'm sitting up here a long way from home plate, but here in the Oriole bullpen on the dugout, you know, this guy's a dead red high fastball hitter, and he got another one to hit and didn't miss it.
So he's had 3 up, 3 on with 2 hits.
And because of the injury to Zach Ridden and Darren O'Day, and both of them on the DL, everybody gets moved up. So this would usually be Michael Gibbons.
7 hits now for the White Sox.
So this is pretty important for Mike Wright to do what Michael would do.
Willie Garcia will take it inside. He struck out Flydo. So a lot of offense in this ball game combined, both teams. 15 runs so far on the board. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Hour and a half rain delay. They joined us late. That's why this is late, this game. Wright's delivery to him, and a swing and a foul tip held on to by Castillo.
Nicely thrown slider. Oh, 17 runs on Monday night.
1 ball, 1 strike count from Wright. White Sox are short, very short 4-game homestand. This is it. They go right back on the road after tomorrow.
Yeah, they're in a stretch of playing what, I think 15 out of 19 on the road.
Runner off first base with a 1-1, and the pitch is in there for a strike.
Yeah, they've already played what, 38 on the road and only 25 here at Guaranteed Rate Field Stadium, whatever.
Whatever this place is called.
Old Comiskey. No, old Comiskey Park got knocked down, didn't it?
Yes, it did. It was next door where the parking lot is.
New Comiskey Park got a new name.
Yes, it did. It's had a couple new names. 1-2. Runner at first going nowhere. Wright's delivery on the way down to 3rd and foul. Hit it sharply, but outside the bag. So Garcia, a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Orioles, somewhat ironically, they've played so well within the division, where the Orioles have gone 21-16. They've won more games in the East than any other Eastern team, but the Central and the West, they are 4-13 combined against Central and West teams. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch on the way, and wound up and couldn't reach it.
Yeah, made it tantalizing enough that a young hitter chases it.
So the top of the order, Sanchez coming up. Sanchez hit by a pitch in the 2nd, scored. The slide out to center twice. Only 1 hit in 10 at bats in the 3-game set. The Orioles, series wise, have won 11, lost 8, and tied 3. So their hope here to win this road trip is they win tonight, get a chance to win tomorrow, and have their 4th split of a series. Wright's delivery to him, that'll be outside for a ball. Davidson on at first base with a leadoff single. Just kind of waiting for somebody to move him around. Sanchez 289 right-handed, 296 left-handed. 1-0 pitch on the way. He'll take it up high. And Wright will go 2-0 on Sanchez with Cabrera.
Well, that's what they're waiting for. I mean, if Sanchez gets on, all of a sudden this game takes on a different direction. And while you're throwing this guy a 1-0 slider, and you can throw a 93 to 95 is beyond me, because if he pulls the ball in the right field, it's an easy base hit.
That's going to go to short. Hardy's going to go to first, and they got a double play.
Wow.
Davidson off the bag, tried to turn back, slipped, and Hardy able to get it over there in plenty of time. Sanchez hits into the double play. Hard hit ball. You see it first base off, tries to go back, down he goes, double play. Baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Take a look at the games affecting the American League East. Blue Jays over the Rays 7-6. Morales had the 2-for-4 home run, and Russell Martin got the game winner, a solo in the 8th. The Red Sox over the Phillies 7-3. The top of their order 8-for-15. 6 RBIs for the Red Sox. Bullpen had to work a lot of that 6th and the 3rd. No runs, 2 hits. The Angels are leading the Yankees 5-4 in the 6th inning. Gary Sanchez 2-for-2. He's had a 3-run homer. He's got 11. Espinosa's gone 1-for-2, a 2-run shot for the Angels. They're still going, however, in Angels territory. And the Orioles go back to work. That one's going to be fouled as we go to the 7th inning. Wellington Castillo, first career grand slam, first 5 RBI ball game. Big blow coming with 2 down in the 5th inning. Orioles mounted a complete 2-out rally, and Castillo took advantage of it. Oh, 1 delivery on the way. Cut on a pitch up, a fastball at 94. Jennings in the bullpen.
Yeah, Dan Jennings, the only lefty. He probably hasn't pitched in 4 days, so he's maybe coming in to get some work.
0-2 the count on Castillo. Washington, then Hardy due up. And I will wind that one up and out of the strike zone. Juan Minaya touched up 2 runs, 4 hits in the 6th. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball. 2-ball, 2-strike count on Castillo. The Orioles looking to end a 6-game losing streak, and the -11 on the road, which is just 2 shy of the all-time record for losses on the road by the Orioles. That one goes as a chopper. Anderson. 1 down in the 7th inning. Lock in your Birdland summer. Reserve your seats for upcoming promotions, including Zach Britton bobblehead, an infielder's bottle stopper set, 25th anniversary Oriole Park replica ballpark and more. For tickets, Orioles.com/tickets or 888-848-BIRD. Well, time for David Washington to break in with a base hit. First major league game, he has struck out twice, fly to center field. They're going to put a shift on against him in the infield, straight away in the outfield. And fouled off as they came inside on him.
Yeah, again, he looks like he's got a little bit of an uppercut swing, and even against one of the strikeouts, they rode the ball up on him, but he had a couple of pitches the first time and swung through him and eventually struck out.
327 off right-handers, $196 off lefties this year with Norfolk. 0-1 delivery to him, another one fouled off.
Yeah, those are very hittable fastballs. And again, I mean, it is your first game in the big leagues. He said he's just going to kind of take it as it comes. Certainly have to be apprehensive. And you hope he'll just calm down.
0-2 with one away. Manaya's delivery to him, and we'll get him. Third strikeout for Manaea. Third time Washington has struck out.
Yeah, so they just go up the ladder. You miss the low pitches and maybe the more hittable. You can see Narvaez just kind of stand up, come out of the crouch, and then Manaea throws it exactly where the glove is.
2 down. J.J. Hardy a double and would score in the 6th inning. 1 for 3 in the game. 3 for 11 in the series. Manaea's pitched for a strike. Kim has 2 RBIs. Jones has an RBI. Trey Mancini's picked up 1. Jonathan Scope has 1. Castillo has 5. The 0-1 pitch. Well, he'll just miss the corner away. Now Dylan Bundy had gone at least 6 innings in all but one of his starts prior to tonight. He does not go 6 in this one, but he got the job done to hold the Orioles in and give the offense a chance they have. So he's got a chance to pick up victory number 7. And Wellington Castillo, his battery mate, supplying half the runs on the board. 1-1 delivered to Hardy. Rips that one to left field. Cabrera right at him. 1-2-3 inning for Manaea. 7th inning stretch time here in Chicago. Orioles on top, right back to work. The Hyundai Better Than Ever sales event with the best total savings on select models in Hyundai's history is going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer with you here in the south side of Chicago, where the Orioles have the 10-5 lead. Melky Cabrera stands in right on the mound. Cabrera will take the pitch away for a ball. He's had a double, a run scored, 1 for 3 in the ball game. Abreu, then Garcia are due up. He's taking. Gonna make right work here. Gets ahead on the count, 2-0. And that will be there for a strike. Right ready. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way. Cabrera puts it in the air, center field. Adam Jones going back. Jones lines it up.
And in your words, he ladled it, but he hit it to the big, the big ball part of the ballpark, and Jonesy runs it down.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles.
Well, now we're talking, whatever that is, at this hour. I got all excited. I thought it was pancakes for a moment.
Nope. No
Close
luck
enough.
there. You got
what time? Yeah, it's
you got some pulled pork tacos going right there. It is 11:20 here. Yes. Pitch on the way. That means the grill's just being fired up, and the folks at the James Joyce are sitting out there in the patio watching some baseball.
Yeah, pancakes at midnight or later.
Or later. Here's Abreu, RBI, sac fly, base hit and a run scored, and he is popped out, 1 down, 7th inning. Pitch will be a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, good time to pitch for Mike Wright. You know, he's got 3 pitches. You know, wind-up's better. I think at some point in his career, not this year because he hadn't pitched the innings. He'd like to get back to maybe being a starter. So showcase yourself.
1-1 delivery, a bouncer. Oriole action with Michael Givens. You can tell by the delivery, even if you can't see his face. 2 ball, 1 strike count. A little bit inside with the belt. And right goes 3-1 on Abreu with Garcia waiting on deck. White Sox 14-11 at home. The Orioles 11-22 on the road. They move into the shift with Scope moving over on the count at 3-1, playing him to pull. And he does foul.
Yeah, nice pitch right there. A little slider and a fastball count. And that works as long as you throw it for a strike.
$20,008 on hand for the ball game. 20,008. 3 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way, fouled off. You know, there's somebody in charge of announcing attendance who tonight said, I've had to wait here for an hour and a half. I'm still here. They want me to put out attendance. All right, take this. 20,008.
Well, it's up. I mean, it was what, 17,000 on Monday, 15 something yesterday, and then
20,000. Right.
Well, it'll probably be about 35,000 here for tomorrow in the afternoon game.
3-2 delivery on the way to center, right behind the mound, and it'll be handled by Scope. All right, before we run out of this date, at least here in this time zone, let's take a look at our Major League Notebook. This date, talking about 2006, Russ Ortiz became the highest paid player ever to be cut by a Major League team. The team still owed him $22 million of the $33 million on a 4-year deal. I'm not sure how you'd feel about having that record, but you could count your money while you thought about it. In 1985, after retiring 2 seasons, Earl Weaver returned to the Orioles. On this date, the team went 53-52 the remainder of the year, and the Earl would retire for good after the next season. Pitch taken inside. $22 million out of 33. Get out of here.
And Russ Ortiz, I believe, pitched for the Orioles.
Yeah.
And of course, that wasn't the contract. The Orioles did not do that contract.
And hit hard, base hit down the line. Yasiel Garcia will head to second base. He will go in with a double, and he's got a 3-hit ball game, 3 for 4.
Yeah, a little. Well, that's what he's doing. And again, you know, you get a good pitch to hit when you're hitting in the 340 range. You don't. Manny kind of crumbles. I hope he didn't hurt his arm. It's the wrist that he hurt. That ball was a BB.
Landing right on that glove wrist. Little grimace, tucking the belt in. That's what he's looking at. Watch how that left wrist gets underneath the body here.
Yeah, that's what he really kind of falls on, and that's where McCutcheon slide in the Pittsburgh series in Baltimore.
2 down, runner at second base. Frazier up. And he will be due up in the 8th inning, so we'll see if he gets to the plate.
Well, we'll see if Todd Frazier's a little more selective. Last 2 times he chased out of the zone, a couple of pop-ups.
White Sox only 3 chances with a runner in scoring position tonight. That'll be fouled off. 1 for 3. 2 down, runner on at second base. Abreu continues red hot in the Garcia rather continues red hot for the White Sox in this series with the 3-hit ball game he's had tonight. He's had 6 hits, 12 at bats, 6 RBIs against the Orioles. He's out there at second base. 8 hits for the White Sox, 13 for the O's. Right's 0-2 delivery.
Well, you got a veteran hitter, a home run guy. He's looking away. You can see him first move is in, so I'm not suggesting the ball's not close, but watch him try to cover the outside corner and then a little chin music. And he doesn't. He just kind of. I mean, the way he puts his helmet on, it's kind of just up there. Probably better vision.
Ahead of him, 1-2, and that'll go towards Manny. Gloves it and fires on the money to get the out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We go to the 8th inning. Orioles leading at 10-5.
Game a losing streak and 11 in a row on the road. Again, sloppy play early on. Manny loses his footprint after Scope who's usually a good defender, doesn't make his play. Davidson hits his 3rd home run of this series. And the White Sox will lead at 5-1. And here come the Orioles in the 5th inning with 2 outs. They will come back after they make it 5-4 and make it 8-4 on the grand slam home run. You can see the exit velocity over 106 miles per hour. 440 feet. Gives the Orioles the lead. That's your Geico highlights. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. Dan Jennings, the lonely lefty out in the bullpen. So he's done a nice job for him. 92 fastball slider pitcher. And again, used in certain situations. And actually, he's kind of been a guy that'll pitch multiple innings, 2 innings or more in 4 of his last 6 outings.
So with the left-hander on the mound, Jennings, Joey Rickard will pinch hit for Kim. Next to Kim at a 1 for 4, 2 RBIs. Rickard, Jones, and Machado due up top of the 8th inning. Left-hander's delivery up high. Anaya worked a couple of innings, 2 runs, 4 hits. Miguel Gonzalez, 8 runs, 9 hits in 5 innings. Pitcher of record for the White Sox, Dylan Bundy, 5 runs, 4 earned, 6 hits over 5 innings. Pitcher of record on the winning side right now for the Orioles. Joey Rickard, a 1-ball, 1-strike count. 288 off left-handers. Jennings pitch down slope on that one. At 83, and the count will go to 1-2 on Rickard.
Yeah, you get him in there for defense. David Holmberg is going to pitch a left-hander, so he'll be playing tomorrow. Talking about Joey Rickard. Get him in at bat.
The 1-2 pitch on the way. A little comebacker under the glove. And got him. Good play at second base by Sanchez. Orioles baseball on MASN brought to you by Ocean City. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City. Book now at OCOcean.com. And by American Standard Heating and Air. Go to MidAtlanticComfort.com for special offers and to find a dealer near you. Here's Adam Jones. Adam, a couple of base hits, an RBI, 2 for 4. He's had a 5 for 12 in the series. And the Orioles with 1 down, nobody on in the 8th. Jennings pitched to him away. Adam this year off the lefties, 227, 272 off right-handers. Jennings with a 1-0 pitch. Again, the breaking ball that comes sliding into the right-handers.
Oh, it's not exactly Andrew Miller, but it's kind of a Miller gave up a run last night. On a home run to Cody Bellinger of the Dodgers, his 2nd run of the year. And we're in June.
One ball, 1 strike count on him. Adam. He'll take the pitch down low. Jennings has that kind of a rush pitch that comes in a hurry, even though it may not be any faster than others. Like Pelfrey in the bullpen. Pelfrey worked 3 2/3 innings in his start in this series. It's going to be a very tough play. Anderson makes it. Well, speaking of, as Jim did, we'll go to our Major League Notebook on the You Can Look It Up page. Cody Bellinger, you were talking about, is the first player in history with back-to-back multi-homer games at the age of 21 years or younger. So starting out pretty darn good. Ryan Zimmerman in Washington, 52 RBIs, are the most through 60 games in a season for the Nationals since he moved to D.C. in 05. And they had Rizzo, Happ, Bryant, and Hayward of the Cubs. First time in Cubs history each of the first 4 hitters in the batting order homered in a road game. They did it against the Mets last night in New York. That one's going to be fouled away. Manny Machado at the plate. Manny a base hit, 1 for 4. 2 down, 8th inning, nobody on. Manny's numbers against the left-handers right now, 239 and only 209 off righties. Manny's going to go to center field, and that will be handled for the out. Manny retired a 1-2-3 inning, bottom of the 8th. Coming up with the Orioles on top, Gibbons coming on. The big grand slam by Wellington Castillo, the big blow in a 5 RBI night here in Chicago. And for Oriole fans, a lot to cheer about tonight as they got the 10-5 lead. Joey Rickard stays in the ball game in left field.
And Michael Gibbons, pitched an inning up in New York, so 6-0. He wins a lot of games, and again a lot of strikeouts, 1 per inning. Lefties this year. Last year they hit him pretty well. This year not the case. Fly ball pitcher, strikeout pitcher. The Orioles are looking for 6 outs with a 5-run lead here in the 8th.
And the pitch will be taken outside. Tim Anderson, base hit RBI in the first inning, has struck out the next 2 times up. White Sox got 2 in the first, 3 in the second. That has been it. Held down by Bundy and Wright since the second. For Gibbons, this will be his 2nd appearance against the White Sox this year. An inning work, couple of runs on 2 hits against him. 2-0 delivery, and that one smacked in the air left field on a running catch. Joey Rickard
just in time, put in for defense, runs it down. Tim Anderson, a young hitter, he was up in the rookie votes last year, and he's a good fastball hitter. We saw that, got a RBI single early on a fastball, and he looked for it and smoked it. And then Rickard ran it down, and that was not an easy play as the wind has come back up, gusting here.
Nevaez, the catcher, coming up is 0 for 3, 0 for 5 in the 2 games he has played in. So Gibbons trying to wrap this up. And we'll be right back at you with the day game coming up. And if it stays this way, the Orioles have an opportunity to split this 4-game set with the White Sox. Chris Tillman 1-4. David Holmberg, the left-hander, 1-0. 1:30 owes extra. 2 o'clock for the ball game on Masson. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Davidson waiting on deck. And the pitch is going to be taken away.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in seeing Chris Tillman tomorrow. certainly has to hopefully get back on track. Pitch capable to his ability level.
Strike taken at the knees.
On the corner at 96.
Givens ready and will just miss. So the count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Orioles hope a victory here tonight could be the beginning of running a string of W's together to get rid of this losing streak. 3-2 pitch on the way, and he goes to first with it. It'll be handled by Mancini. And there are 2 down in the 8th inning. Givens has been so effective for the Orioles. Used a little more than what they would have liked, but he certainly has gotten the job done. And a reminder, vote today, vote tomorrow, vote orange for your 17 All-Stars MLB All-Star Game ballot. You can vote at Orioles.com/vote and catch all the excitement of the 88th MLB All-Star Game July 11 on Fox. Matt Davidson, 2 down, nobody on. Home run is 13th. Leading off the 2nd inning. He's had a single and a walk to go with it. He's had a very solid series against the Orioles. Davidson DHing in the ball game. Strike taken on the inside corner. Davidson closing in on a .300 batting average against the Orioles for his career, and he has delivered 3 career home runs against Oriole pitching. 0-2 delivery on the way, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. You'll watch that one on the outside corner. 1-2-3 inning picked up by Michael Givens. Orioles will go to the 9th leading it, and a mighty happy young fan. Look at our Lexus of Towson driving the game.
Oh, does it ever turn this game around? Orioles trailing 5-4 at the time, and it had a couple of more runs, but the grand slam, as you mentioned, Gary, first of Valentin Castillo's career. Very timely, 5 RBIs tonight.
Our Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer, 7 straight years. Come see why. LexusofTowson.com.
Well, Pelfrey, who started on Monday night, and again, as you mentioned, 3 2/3 innings, had trouble throwing strikes, had a significant lead. They brought in Jake Petrichka just off the save list, and he got the win. But you know, Pelfrey, I would imagine until Shields and Rodon get back, he'll probably still start. He has pitched very well here at home, and and his numbers are actually pretty good, but the record not so good.
First relief appearance for him this year, and the pitch will be taken inside. So Mike Pelfrey on in relief. Jennings worked an inning, retired the side in order. Trumbo's had a couple of singles, 2 for 4. Mark with Pelfrey on a 1-0 count, and the ball popped up. Silo shot at the plate. Had a couple of those. That'll be handled in foul territory. Nevaez puts it away. Our wrap up of the 8-game road trip comes tomorrow. Chris Tillman on the mound against David Holmberg. Our coverage on Maston at 1:30. O's Extra presented by Jeep, and the game at 2. All the access you need right here on Maston.
And Chris Tillman again, I mean, very un-Chris Tillman-like with an 8-point ERA, and then Holberg, a left-hander. So we'll see him for the first time. Until he certainly said he pitched stupidly up in New York. Tried to get everything working in the first inning. We'll see if he makes some adjustments.
A strike taken by Trey Mancini. So Mancini trying to add to a really good night. 2 singles, a double, and a walk. He has scored 3 times in the ball game, and he has picked up an RBI. Mike Pelfrey's delivery to him. Mancini will take it on the outside corner. It's getting late.
Gives him a look because it's been a long night. Game started long. When Walcott, I haven't really seen him do a lot of umpiring. That's one of the few pitches that have been demonstratively off the corner, and he called it.
Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way. Bounced.
Yeah, that's a splitter. A fastball slider splitter is the repertoire for Mike Pelfrey.
Yankees have come back to tie the Angels 5-5. West Coast game in the 7th. Yankees trying to hang on to that first place position that they started out the day 3 games up. Red Sox have won their game, so officially now Boston 2.5 behind. Pitch will be taken up high. Tampa Bay lost, so they've dropped to 6 behind for the moment. The Orioles started the day 7.5 out. With Toronto winning, it'll keep, if the Orioles win this, Orioles will maintain a half-game lead over Toronto to stay out of the bottom spot in the East. 2 ball, 2 strike count. And away on a pitch to get it.
Yeah, they get ahead, then you try to make the perfect pitch, and couldn't do it on Monday night. There were a lot of pitches, and this one right on the corner. And also, you already know the umpire is going to call that pitch a strike, so you're going to chase, and that's what the expanded zone will do to hitters.
So Pelfrey gets a couple of quick outs here in the 9th inning. Jonathan Scope, double, single, walk, and a struck out. He has an RBI. He has scored 2 runs in the game, and the off-speed breaking ball taken away. Scope has gone 2 for 5 off Pelfrey. And another cue that may go fair, and he knows it, so he's running it out. That's foul.
You don't want to be catching it now because he's going to get a base hit. Yeah, I think this is one of those peace of minds. Little, instead of throwing on the side, maybe Pelfrey went to Don Cooper, Rick Renneria, and said and he described his with a big lead. They got him 10 runs on Monday. He said I was horrible. I couldn't execute my pitches, so you get back out there, build your confidence. Even though it looks like the Orioles have a good chance of winning this game.
And you save another bullpen arm for a day game tomorrow. He walked 5 in that game, striking out 2, 5 walks in 3 2/3 innings. 1-1 coming, and it came in with 90. 1-2.
Well, when he's at his best, he's the sinker, slider, and the splitter. You throw it off the sinker. So again, you could see that ball just go down. And we talked about it. What, he threw 4 ground ball double plays the other night?
1-2 up. Scope not going after it. Jonathan, 2 ball, 2 strike count from Pelfrey. 2 down in the 9th inning. And fouled off.
Jonathan having some quality at bats tonight.
He's gone 6 for 10 in the series. He has a 4-game hit streak. And pushing the average up each day, 291. Here's the 2-2 pitch to him. Got jammed. We'll go back up and out of play. Another at least 7 pitch at bat here. Two down. Told you there were 20,008 in attendance. 8 have remained. The 2-ball 2-strike pitch. Playable. Shortstop going back. Anderson. Melky Cabrera coming in. Anderson gets there and will make the catch. So the Orioles are retired in order. The O's 3 outs away from ending the losing streak. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Yeah, and it seems like every night it's Trey Mancini night. You know, again, and the more you see him as he drives in Adam Jones, the more you realize that not only does he hit mistakes, but he can hit quality pitches, and not too many young hitters are able to do that in their rookie year.
Pretty spectacular play done unspectacularly.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, he's just very steady. They adjust, he adjusts. But what you like is just, again, he's got a nice swing.
So Hansen will be the pinch hitter here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Alan Hansen against Givens. Then the top of the order, Sanchez and Cabrera are due up. Hansen, newly acquired, has gotten a start at second base at an 0 for 4. Puts that one in the air to right center field. Adam Jones looking up, and goodbye home run. So Hansen delivers the long ball. More importantly, is Adam all right? A 10-6 game. Hansen gets his first. And the White Sox 5th at bat for Hansen.
Yeah, you play deeper, and again, you're going to, think like you can maybe get up and catch some home runs, take them away. And then, I mean, this is right to the power. He just drops the bat down. A young player that has a lot of skills, and boy, that's a good way to hurt yourself. I mean, you're up by 5. Yeah, you'd like to catch it, but boy, you've really already beaten up enough.
So Adams stays out there in center field, but felt that one. Pitch will be taken away. Sanchez hit by a pitch, scored in the second. Officially 0 for 3 and 1 for 11 in the series. Castillo goes out to have a word with Givens. Showalter watching his center fielder. He seems to be constantly walking off one bit of pain or another on the ankle, legs, hips area. Brad Brock will get ready in the bullpen. A 10-6 ball game. 2-0 delivery on the way.
Well, again, I think they, you send him out there because you had a 5-run lead. You also send him out there because he had only a 13-pitch 8th inning. But again, you got to be able to focus, and I'm not always saying it's easy. Michael doesn't usually pitch the 9th inning. It's really no different than any other inning. It just happens to be the 9th. Now, the last time, Gary, that the Orioles actually had to face an opposing team in the 9th inning was all the way back on the 16th of May.
Scope will run it down, make the play. The indicative of how many leads they've not had. Orioles baseball on MASN, brought to you by Southwest. Say yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by University of Maryland University College.
And that was in a big game where the Orioles had to win that game in 13 innings. Last time the opposition is batted in the 9th.
And fortunately for the Orioles, not a save situation, at least not yet. Here's Cabrera on a bouncer. Cabrera's had a double, scored a walk, officially 1 for 3. Orioles couple more outs to put it away. Bundy waiting to see if he gets the win. He'll be 7-5 if he does. Gonzalez 4-8 would be the loser. Strike taken on the outside corner. And most important, the Orioles just get rid of all the losing streak stuff.
Well, my former teammate out of University of Southern California, Richie Dyer, used to say we need a series of one-game winning streaks. And that's what happens when you struggle. And they've been struggling on the road.
Mancini takes it to the bag. And there are 2 down.
And then Michael Gibbons said, he's been around long enough. I mean, it's only his 3rd year as a pitcher, converted infielder, but he knows how important it is. Just go out. He's certainly capable with his ability level. Get 3 outs here in the 9th. Brock can maybe just do some soft throwing and then get another out, and then Brock is fully rested for tomorrow.
So Gibbons 1 out away from giving the Orioles their 32nd win, getting them back to 500. Abreu will take the pitch, and it is a strike. Base hit, RBI, sac fly, 1 for 3 in the ball game. Oriole bullpen, Wright worked a couple of innings, no runs on 2 hits. Givens working a couple of innings. So far, they only hit the home run. Strike taken, and the count goes to 0-2. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Givens outside, slider. See what the Orioles lineup will look like tomorrow with a day game and a left-hander. Buck Showalter will choose to go in that one. Yes. Orioles Seth Smith will be ready to work off the bench.
Well, yeah, and they may do what they did against Holland, where they DH'd Wellington Castillo, especially with 5 RBIs, and then Caleb Joseph does the catching.
That would make a great deal of sense.
Rickard came in for defense. He got an at bat. He'll play against the lefty.
1-2. Givens delivery to him, fouled off. Victory here, and the Orioles will at least guarantee themselves another season series win against the White Sox. This would make them 4-2 on the year. Givens the 1-2 delivery again and again. It will be fouled back.
Yeah, 98. And I mean, you look at Jose Abreu, and yeah, you are down by 4, but he's pretty relaxed. And just fighting off whatever he needs to fight off, because again, he's been red hot. And the game doesn't end if he doesn't make it out.
And it doesn't end.
Yep. Well, you just can't make hittable pitches to him. That's how hot he is. And again, his approach is pretty much, I mean, along with Garcia right behind him, unparalleled.
And Buck's on his way out. So we're going to get a pitching change here in the 9th inning. The home run picked up by Hansen, the pinch hitter, and now the single by Abreu will create the opportunity for Brad Brock, who will come on and look for the 1 out to end the ball game.
And didn't think you were going to have to see him, but you do. They're still looking for that elusive last out with Garcia coming up to the plate. And, you know, great numbers for Brad Brock. He did get a tune-up inning on Monday night in a non-save situation.
So Brock comes on to try and finish it off. Runner on at first base. White Sox want one more. Let's get one more on, one at a time. Try and keep the ball game going. Avisail Garcia stands in. He's already had 3 hits, 2 singles, a double. He is 3 for 4 in the ball game, 7-game hit streak, raising his average to 340. Started the day 3rd, or yesterday started 3rd in the league in average. And check swing. He went around.
Again, 96. I mean, if he does have one hole, and he did swing at that pitch, of course, didn't want it to be a strike. But that's up and in.
Brad Brock on 1, 2 down. Foul tipped.
Yeah, in a perfect world, the last thing you want is your closer to come in a non-closing situation to get one of the better hitters out, because then he gets to see him, even if he does end up making it out. But since he's in, take care of it.
That's what get him out.
Yep.
Both teams double digits hits in the ball game. Orioles 13, White Sox 10. Runner will go. Ball put up in the air to center. Adam Jones over, and that's the game. So the Orioles get the one they wanted so desperately. A run here on a couple of hits in the 9th inning. One will be left on base. 10, 13, and 2 for the Orioles. 6, 10, and 0 for the White Sox. Victory goes to Bundy. He is 7 and 5. Miguel Gonzalez takes the loss. White Sox starter is 4 and 8. The Orioles end the 6-game losing streak. They end the 11-game losing streak on the road and guarantee themselves a season series win against the White Sox.
Yeah, and it wasn't easy. You know, Dylan Bundy, the defense wasn't very good. He wasn't as sharp as he was for the first, what, 2-3 innings. And then he shut it down, and he shut down the White Sox. And the offense came roaring back. So again, another illustration of why Dylan Bundy at 24 is a pretty special pitcher.
And everybody involved in the offense for the Orioles, none more so than, well,